Oh, had my microphone turned off. It didn't turn it on. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? There we go. What are you up to, John? I got the link. You should be at the top of the chat. One of y'all want to come up or something? All right, getting sleepy. I was up kind of late last night. Yeah, I'm gonna have to grab me something too, because I get thirsty even if I don't talk. For some reason I get really thirsty just sitting here listening. Gavin, you went quiet on us. Where are you at? What are you doing? It ain't important. Get up here. I don't know if you can hear me or not, Bowman, but anything else happened with the tornado yesterday? Any other weather brew up after that or whatever? Just rain. Well, good deal. And when I left here last night, it was turning to rain. Where it was snowing and turning to rain. And we got a little bit of accumulation. I mean, it's just a dusting, but, you know, it started to stick. Oh, and it turned to rain. And we got a little bit of accumulation.
What's going on? Give me one second. I got to figure out this echo.
It started to stick. Yeah. Oh, and it turned to rain. We got a little bit of accumulation. What's going on?
Give me one second. I got to figure out this echo.
It started to stick. Yeah. You're going to have to mute your YouTube.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to get to that. I'm gonna, hang on. I might back out. I'll jump back up in this sec.
Okay. Yeah. The thing is, you don't have to have YouTube open for this. You can just use StreamYard. The comments, I think, are delayed on StreamYard. I think they don't come up as quick on it as they do on YouTube. I like having YouTube open as well, but you don't have to. It don't do no good. I mean, it don't help or nothing. So that may be a little bit easier once you click the link to open StreamYard, just completely exit out of YouTube if you want to. So what are you doing today, Gavin? Cutting firewood again?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, let's go.
Gavin said he's doing not shit.
Sounds good to me. So how you doing today, David?
Yeah, all right. My shins are hurting a lot, though, from where I walked yesterday, and it didn't help none. Huh?
Did you do it yet today?
Yeah, I walked my mile about an hour ago or so, and I filmed it, and I didn't have anything good to bring for lunch, so I'm going to go get some Subway, and I'm going to make a little bit of a video about that, show what I get from there and whatnot, because that was one thing I didn't do very well last year was out mowing and whatnot. We would eat out, and I would just get whatever my helper would want to get from wherever. Sometimes I wouldn't get anything, but we just get the fast food joints. So I'm just going to make an effort to, go to Subway if I have to get something. It's a little bit healthier.
Yeah. Yeah, there are good days. I wouldn't eat at all last year. I would just mow and just keep mowing through it.
Yeah. I had the problem of I would get faint and I thought it was from not eating, but I don't know now if it was or not. I kind of think it may be this diuretic I'm on.
Maybe. Yeah, I remember we were talking about that before. It could have also been the heat too, maybe. I know it got me last year.
Yeah, it could have been. I've only had heat exhaustion or whatever one time. I actually passed out from it, but I was still working part-time, and I was on a zero turn out mowing. The transmission belt broke, so I had to walk to the shop to get side-by-side to pull it back to the shop with. And I stopped outside the gate talking to a buddy of mine when I was coming back with the zero turn. And I started feeling faint, like the clouds were rolling in, black clouds rolling in from, and I ended up passing out. I reached out for the brush guard, and I was like, I don't feel so good. And I just face planted the gravel road.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Tore my face up. That's what that scar is from, whichever side it is. My glasses already jammed it in my cheek, cut it open.
That's scary.
Apparently, I was out.
Could have been a really bad day.
What was that?
So it could have been a really bad day.
Yeah, apparently I was out for some time, they said, and I don't know how long.
Yeah, that's not good.
And
it hasn't happened since then, though?
No, I've had it come close. I've gotten really, really faint to the point of, almost falling, but not completely going out like that. But they took me to the hospital and had me on fluids until 2 o'clock in the morning. Room bright as hell, pillows paper thin, couldn't sleep or do nothing. And I was like, get me the hell out of here or do something to me. And they, let me go.
Yeah.
What was that? Gavin, get your butt up here. Let's talk.
Yeah, come on up.
So what are you doing today, John?
Well, today I'm working on giving out some commercial bids. I started that last week, so today I'm finalizing a bunch of them so I can go out and give them tomorrow. And then right after I get off here, I got to run to the store. I'm building a coffee table, so this will be interesting because I hate woodwork and I'm not good at it, but we sold. So we had coffee tables and end tables and stuff that our family gave us right after we got married and moved into our apartment. So it's been hand-me-downs for a long time, and we finally sold them last week. Now I'm gonna build a custom one, I guess you can say, and we'll see how it goes.
We've got an old chest in our living room that we use for a coffee table.
We used to do that too. We had one. I don't even know what happened to it now. Last time I remember seeing it was at our apartment we lived at. In fact, the apartments, that apartment complex I mow, that's the apartments we used to live at.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We used to live in that shitty neighborhood.
I've thought about maybe getting some commercial properties this year. I kind of doubt I will. Dealing with that O'Reilly's just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth which it didn't help none that was my first year, and I was all like, I didn't have much good equipment then. I just had the lawn tractor and push mowers and whatnot. But the ground there was so rough, I was thinking, well, I'll tear up a riding mower trying to mow here. Yep. When there wasn't nothing to worry about. It wasn't that rough. But one side would grow like a foot tall in 2 weeks, and they only want it every 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
And I was bag mowing it with a push mower, and they let me dump the grass in the trash dumpster they had there. And finally, toward the end of the season, I've got my big John Deere, and I used it to mow it a couple times. That made it a hell of a lot better, that's for sure, easier and whatnot. But there's just so much weed eating and trash to pick up and everything. But really, like I say, it's more my fault for the bad taste in my mouth. And now they won't pay no more than like $35, and that place is not worth it. It's not worth any less than 50. I mean, I carried insurance the biggest part of the time I was there, I believe. And I mean, the whole entire front of the store is glass panes. If you break one of them, you're probably looking at least $1,000 of paint.
Yeah, that's the risk factor with commercial. Yeah, they're great if you get the right one, but you got all kinds of risks. Plus, if it's a shopping center, you have all the customers that come up and park their cars, and you better believe they're going to blame you for the one little scratch that was probably on there for years. They're going to blame it on you. So that's the one thing that sucks about lawn care is you're going to get blamed for it, regardless of whether you did it or not, most likely.
Yeah, that's kind of a funny story, though. I had once or twice last year, I think once at the house and then once was actually on a customer's property, I put a hole in vinyl siding. And I told the customer when it happened there, I told them about it, and they was like, I was about positive that I did it, but not 100% sure, because, you're mowing, you can't tell exactly where sounds are coming from, and you're not looking all around and everything. But I run over a stick, and I think I heard it hit the house, and I looked, and there's a hole there. So I probably did it, but I'm not 100% sure. Mm-hmm. And I told them about it, and they was like, well, we just rent this place. As far as we know, it was here when we moved in. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, that's a good way.
But
I've hit the those water, not the water caps, but those little white plastic, I forget what they're called. They're like that big. Those little white plastic deals.
Sewer cleanouts.
What's that?
Sewer cleanouts.
Yeah, I've hit a couple of those before and knocked it off, and usually nobody gives a shit. But this year I'm going to carry a couple extra with me just so I can swap it out real quick if I did it. But,
yeah, I've only got 1 yard that's got one of them in it, and a lot of times I go around it just to be on the safe side, but usually I can go over it and not have to worry about it.
That's what I thought too. That's what I thought. I hit 2 of them last year. That's what I thought. I thought I could go over. I thought it was cutting high enough that it'd be fine, but apparently it wasn't. I hit it.
But the only other thing that I've done is I mowed a property now. I mowed it a number of times. I mowed it the same way every time because there really ain't much difference you can do there. I did it different this one time, and I had my chute, whatever, on my tractor mower, and I kept it up all the time anyway. And it caught a telephone cable off a satellite they had on the pole out in the yard, or not telephone, the satellite cable, and it broke it because it was real loose, like that much of it on the bottom or whatever, it wasn't zip tied or nothing. So it caught it and broke it. And they said I think that they repaired it for free. And so I told them, if I need to pay for anything, I will. And they said, no, don't worry about it. So that's the only other thing I've really had.
That's pretty good. Last year, I got a video coming up probably in 2 weeks. You guys will see the bad luck I had last year. I had about 3 solid weeks of just bad luck where shit was going wrong. I was hitting stuff or tires were going flat and stuff like that. I'll elaborate that more.
I had the exact same shit.
In like 2 weeks. Well, one of the things that happened was I hit a manhole cover. Not paying attention. I seen it. I thought I could go over it. I've never gone over it before. It was at the apartment complex. Never gone over it before. I always went around it, but I was just having one of those days. When you wake up and you feel like something's not going to be right today, like you should stay home. That's the day I had. I woke up and I was like, I should stay home. Well, I went and I mowed, and for whatever reason, I decided to go over top the manhole cover for whatever reason. And the manhole cover on one side stuck up more than it did on the other side. Like the other side, it was flush, but it was on the hill. So as you were going, it went like that. You know what I mean? So just as the lawnmower went over, it went boom, 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 boom. Freaking destroyed the manhole cover and fucked the blade up, man. It was bad today, but luckily, the only thing it did was destroy a blade.
Yeah. What I always worry about is water meter lids, because sometimes you can step or go over them at a certain angle and them things will pop up. And I worry about going over one and it popping up on me when about the time it goes under my mower deck or something there. But I've never had that problem. But we got a sewer manhole in our front yard, and I've gone over it before, but I have to raise my deck all the way up to do it. But the thing that I run into last year, not on very many yards, mainly my yard and a neighbor's yard, where I do a lot of spraying. There's a whole lot of rocks in our yard, and spraying around them, I think, is just kind of washed the dirt out over time, and it's making the rocks stick up higher. Mm-hmm. And there's a few in my yard especially, and there's one bad one in the neighbor's yard. I hate that thing. It's like it's on a little bit of a slope, and then on this side there's a divot. So it's high centered, right in the very center of the stripe that I lay. Yep. And there's a rock right in the very top of the damn thing. Yep. So unless I hold way over and go in halfway into the hayfield or go up this side and just don't even mow the bottom side of it at all, I end up hitting that thing, cutting that like 2 1/2 or 2 3/4 or whatever. But I hate that. The only thing I can do is just try and raise my deck up when I come to that stuff. But I'm hoping to not cut any yards on 2 1/2 this year. 2 3/4, I think, is going to be my minimum this year.
Yeah. Yeah, when I would do the drainage ditch or anything that I don't want to cut every week, I would cut it pretty low. If it didn't have to look good, like a drainage ditch or something like that, I'd cut it like 2 1/2 if I could. But then the minimum for just a regular yard, it was like 3 1/4. And then as the year went on, I started cutting it higher because I realized it looked better with it cut higher, just for me anyways, for out here. But
and the more it grows, the higher you cut it, the less you got to clean up afterwards too.
Exactly. Yep.
But I had one customer that wanted me to cut lower and lower and lower, and I did it until a point, and it wore my belts out, I think, prematurely because it's so much workload on them. Yep. And finally, I told her, I can't go no lower. I'm going to have to set it at this height, and that's it, because it cost me like $120 in belts. Mm-hmm. So, yeah,
Sorry, go ahead. I cut you off. Sorry.
It seemed like every time I turned around, like cause so many weeks, something would go on. Which, like I said before, biggest thing was I brought on myself was putting the tubes and fluid in my tires. I had run into tube problems, and the only reason I put tubes in them is because I just didn't want that stuff against my rims, which it shouldn't hurt them anyway. But I just wanted that extra protection. Mm-hmm. But it seemed like every time I turned around, something was going on.
Yeah. A little trick I figured out, this might be wrong, some people might think it's shady, but the little trick I figured out last year was the customers that want it as low as possible, what I would do is I would cut it pretty low just around their house where they're going to walk. But then as you get further away from the house, I'd cut it on whatever it was I wanted to. And as I'm getting there, I would just slightly increment it up to where it's not looking, you don't have grass this short and then it goes that tall. I just increment it up. And then that's what I did. I mean, nobody can think about it.
I'm kind of thinking about doing that this year too, like just kind of around the house doing a little bit short and then go out and raise it up a little bit. Mm-hmm. But commercial properties like we was talking about, I've only got one right now that I'm keeping. I got rid of my last 2 just because they're more difficult, and I'm trying to get rid of my more difficult stuff. But it's great. It takes me about 1.5 hours to do it by myself with a tractor mower. But I spray literally everything. There's one bank that I trim, and it ain't even 2 foot tall. So I can do all of it from the parking lot where it's next to the parking lot. I don't have to, climb up it or whatever. So it's great. I can spray everything, and I should be in and out real quick now with the zero turn. But down along the road in the ditch is going to be interesting because I just wonder if possibility of end up sliding off in there. If that happens, that's going to suck.
Yep. Yeah, that was one of my biggest fears last year was getting stuck, sliding off. I got stuck once. I paid the price. It was real wet last year in the springtime, right near a drainage ditch. And I looked at it. I seen there was standing water there, and it was just one of those things, my dumb ass. I'm like, oh, yeah, I can make it through it. Shoot. I push that forward. Next thing I know, I'm spinning, slinging mud, and had to do the walk of shame. Luckily, I was able to grab it, and I figured out a way to kind of like shimmy the mower around to get it into the dry land. But that was a pain in the ass. There was a lot of slipping. I think I fell twice last year in that mud trying to get the mower out.
That's so weird how that stuff works. Where I used to work at, the park that I took care of is completely flat. And it's all like floodplain, it's like sandy soil and everything where it's near the river. Mm-hmm. Well, you can mow that place after it's rained or whatever, You can go through standing water and never leave a mud track, never spin a tire or nothing. You can go through an area that looks perfectly dry and you'll sink up to your hub.
Yep.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, I do too. I can't stand it.
never understood that.
I started keeping a chain in my truck. I forget what the rating of it for, what the rating of the chain is for, but I know it's way more than I think what my truck even weighs. I did it just for the reason of getting stuck. At least I have a way to pull myself out when it's just me out mowing.
Yeah, I've been wanting to go to Harbor Freight. Been thinking about this for months.
That's what I wanted, actually.
Yeah, get one of them 20-foot toe straps. You know, it's got the loops in each end of it.
I know what you're talking about. I need to get one of those. I got my chain from there, actually. It's pretty good. They were the best price on chain, at least, around me that I seen.
I've been thinking about getting another impact, too, just to keep in the truck. But I don't know if I'll do that or just keep mine in the truck or something there, because about time I put it in the truck, I'll have to get it out when I'm at home and then never put it back in the truck again. But then again, you know, it's like $100-some bucks. Do I want to spend that? You know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was looking at doing this year is I'm trying to keep, if and when I can get the enclosed trailer set up, I plan on keeping basically everything I need in the trailer, have like 2 of them, you know, have 2 chains, 2 impacts, you know, 2 sets of tools, one for my garage and then one for in the trailer. So I always have something out there to work on.
Yeah. I got a little bit of a tool set and whatnot, but I'm not sure if I got enough the right kind of stuff like to change blades if I had to. But
yeah, see, I keep all that. I even have like a torque wrench and stuff. I got all kinds of shit. I got really used to stuff breaking down on me in the beginning and not having tools to fix it. So I learned my lesson like first week into the season last year that I need to keep extra set of tools and stuff on me, because there was a lot of driving back and forth from the job site to home to get stuff out of the garage and stuff. And
yeah,
that's where a lot of my mileage came from too.
Yeah, a lot of my stuff, like I've said before, is just wear. You know, everything just wore out and kind of give up, and I had to replace it at the time just to make the machines better. But one time, I got a set of blades, put them on the mower, got to the first yard, which is like 7 miles away, and kicked the blades on, and they was hitting each other. They was made bad from the factory. They wasn't made exactly right, and I had to go all the way back, change blades out, and then go back to mow.
Ben says he uses a Honda push mower for hills and ditches where his zero turn can't go. That's what I did in the beginning too.
There it pops up. And StreamYard chat is just a little bit slower than the YouTube chat.
Yeah, I noticed that. I have my phone pulled up here. That's how I'm trying to keep up with the chats. Sometimes it glitches out. The comments do. Like I think I was on Ben and Acme Mowing's live stream last night, and StreamYard chats weren't keeping up.
Yeah. I hope this year to not have to use a push mower at all. I've got my bagging mower up for sale. I've got a good side discharge mower that I'm not going to get rid of. Just keep on hand for an extra. But I'm thinking about, instead of just selling them, the old Deere 320 and the GT235, I'm thinking about once I get them all fixed up, which the 320 is the only one that needs fixed. But anyway, I'm thinking about trying to see if somebody be willing to trade both of them for a stander, like a decent stander, like a 40-inch or a 48 or something there. I don't know if anybody take it up or not. Probably not, but be worth a try.
Yeah. Have you used a stand-on yet?
I've only rode one time. That's when I went to that Skag right dealer. I just drove it around. I didn't actually mow with it. But as far as actually mowing, no.
Did you like using it? Was it comfortable and easy?
The Skag itself wasn't as comfortable, I don't think, as the right, which I didn't try the right. I just stood on it for a second, and it felt, in what short time I was on it, I think it's a lot more comfortable than the Skag. But as far as just using a stander in general, I took up on it real easy. I mean, if you can run a zero turn, you can run a stander.
Okay. I haven't rode a stander yet, but I'm curious to see.
Yeah. But walk behinds have always been my problem. I think I'm just too big for them to pull me good, because I had demoed a hydro and it done the same way as my belt drive's doing now, trying to go just up a, not a very steep hill, but a decent hill. It just starts spinning.
Yeah, that's how mine is too. You can't stand on the sulky when you're going up a hill that's got a decent grade. You have to stand behind it and walk.
Yeah.
That's normal. I want to try a hydro walk behind this year. I'm hoping just to compare it to my belt driven one, just to see what the difference is. If there really even is a difference. Because right now I hate walk behind mowers.
Really, there's not a whole lot of difference if you have the same drive type. Like I demoed a pistol grip hydro, and you could set your forward speed to whatever you want it, but you could control it with your pistol grip as well. So you can have it all the way forward, and you can only go half speed if you constantly keep pressure on them. Of course, belt drive's just going to go one speed, and that's it. But it's not, that's a small difference really between the two, I think.
Okay.
But I really wanted to try something like a Skag SWZT, the kind of like the Ferrises and some Deeres have instead of the pistol grip plow handles, the other kind. That's
that's what I want to try.
Yeah, I wanted to try one of them, and they couldn't get one. But I ain't too interested in really having a walk behind anyway. I'm going to keep the one I got if I really, really need it. If I don't need it very, very much, it may end up being sold too. But I would like to get a standard in the next year or two, or at least really demo one and see if I like them, because I believe I would like them. I just have to put about 200 pounds of weight on the front of it to keep my fat ass on the ground.
I'll probably keep my I think I'm keeping my stand on for now. We'll see what I end up doing. I think I'm going to keep it as a backup because it's close enough to the same size and it's commercial grade. Yeah. It needs a little bit of work to it. It's kind of rough. I got a video on that coming too. But it's pretty rough, but it's a good backup mower at least to have. So I'll probably keep it unless the right guy comes along and makes me the right offer, then I'll sell it. But I'm probably going to keep it for just one more year, and we'll see where I'm at next year if I even want to do lawn care again after this.
I seen somebody had a Wright ZK on Facebook for sale that caught on fire. There's only one like $450 for it, and I was thinking, I bet that would be rebuildable, especially if it didn't completely cook the hydros. The lines and stuff shouldn't be too awfully expensive to replace, and hell, you can get a $600 motor from Harbor Freight.
I think I've seen it. I think I've seen that because I had searched Facebook Marketplace. I'm all the time on Marketplace. I think I had searched nationwide for a stand-on mower, and I think I've seen it.
The 52-inch?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was because it was just recent, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't long ago.
Yeah, I think I looked at it because I think I said the same thing. I'm like, damn, if I lived a little bit closer and had that money, this wouldn't be a bad deal here.
Yeah.
My issue that I have is the wiring. I'm afraid that the wiring's so messed up on it that you'll have problems. But then again, it might be easy. I don't know.
Wiring a lawnmower really isn't that hard. I've wired a bunch of different ones just with a push button start. Of course, never hooked up the safeties or whatever. But really on a standard, you shouldn't even have to worry about safeties, I would think. But just look up, if you want just a bare basic wiring to just get a motor running until you have the machine workable, go on YouTube and just look up mud mower wiring. There's people, I don't know if you heard of like people that build mud mowers or not.
You'll probably see my comments on their videos.
Yeah. Hey, there's a bunch of people that do the videos on how to wire them things. It's not hard at all just to get a motor running. And I have wired up the PTO switches before as well. But the thing you run into when you're dealing with electric clutch, you just got to make sure that your engine puts out enough amperage to keep the battery charged so that it don't completely drain it running the clutch.
Okay. Where are you from exactly?
Lake County, Virginia.
Lake County, Virginia. I'm trying to think of where, because I remember we were talking just the other day. I'm trying to figure out where my family is originally from, at least on my mother's side anyway. It's from that. She's from either Virginia or West Virginia. I don't remember which one. But.
Yeah, there's some fields. Well, I ain't going to say your name on live.
It's all good.
Yeah, there's some, of your last name around here. So, I mean, it could be here.
What about Stihl? Steele. I don't know if a Fields would be around you from my family. I think Stihl would be.
I'm not sure if I've heard of any of them around here.
Okay. I knew they were from, my granddad was a coal miner. So wherever all the coal mines are out there is where they were from originally.
Yeah, well, there's some here and there's some in West Virginia too, I'm sure. And there's probably some from Kentucky. And I mean, this whole area, is real heavy with mines. What's going on, Mikey? How you doing? There's Bowman back. Get up here, Bowman. Come on.
Come on up, Mikey.
Yeah, come up here, Mikey. We're talking lawn care so we can get a 2-hour stream out of you, I know.
It's not quite like Acme Mowing where we have to yell over top each other and cut each other off to talk. We give each other time to talk here.
Yeah, I like, Floyd and Mike and all them and Mark and everything. But you get them three in a stream, you cannot get a word in edgewise amongst them guys. They stop and there's just a millisecond. They pick right up. I can't do that.
I've learned you just got to freaking yell, man. You just got to cut each other off and start talking.
I ain't quick enough. They can, they don't really cut each other off as all that bad, but they pick up on it so quick it's ridiculous. Hey, Tom, how you doing?
What's up, Tom? Come on up, Mikey.
My neck's hurting. Oh.
Yeah, after the last stream we got off last Sunday on yours, when I stood up, my back was locked up. I'm like, damn, I didn't think I was sitting there that long.
Yeah, it's only 2 hours, but it don't take long at all.
Yeah, it really doesn't, man. It freaking flies by. You just get to talking.
Yeah. I mean, we've already been on here for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I just seen that. I'm like, damn, I didn't think we'd been on here that long. Oh,
when
shit.
When are you going live again?
I was thinking this coming up weekend, this Saturday, if not before then, if not this week. I'll give like a 24-hour notice. I'll do the premiere thing if I can, so everyone knows about it. But I'm thinking real soon.
Yeah, I finally figured out how to, schedule them on here on YouTube and this both. So I'll try and keep that in mind every time I do it. But I ordered a backdrop thing that I'm going to start using just to, kind of privacy where I'm working at, which
oh yeah.
A little late for that now, but they hit
the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
hang
good.
your feet up or something.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, I kind of have a series I want to try and do live if other guys want to do it. Have guys come up like do one live stream. I'll pull one guy up and ask him a bunch of questions. Like how their business is going, what got them into it. Like I've got a whole list of questions I was going to ask, but the next live stream I do, I was going to ask everybody on there if they were interested, if they would want to do that, or if people even want to see that. I thought it would be cool. I
think that'd be cool. Yeah, just that way, pull up one person at a time. That way, everybody can get their word in if you want to do it that way.
Even if it's not a long live stream, even if it's like 30 minutes, but within that 30 minutes, I have one guy up every time talking. Then the following week, do it again with another guy, something like that. I would really like to do it, but I just want to make sure everybody wants to watch it before I do it.
Kind of like interviews in a way that Lawn Care Rookie's done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want to do people's shop setups. Like this year, I'm hoping like around the summertime to go kind of explore my area here with other YouTubers and do like a shop setup. Because one thing I love about this business is everybody has a different setup and everybody's setup works differently for them. So I don't know. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah. I'd really like maybe this year, I don't know if it'll happen or not, get that. I'd like to get a Connex and build a lean-to off of it and put it in the backyard. I can move pretty much all my stuff down there just to have extra room, mainly get my trailer set up out of the weather. Backing in that garage sucks. I literally have one side of the trailer is always touching the Weber stripping on the door, no matter how I back in there.
Mm-hmm.
That's just too close.
I can't get my trailer in the garage. It would take me longer to put my trailer in the garage probably than it would me to just load and unload every day.
Yeah. Would it fit in there or is it just too hard to get in there?
It will fit my hill. So my driveway is on a pretty steep hill, and I don't have much room at the bottom of it. And then to put my trailer in, that means I have to move my wife's car that's in front of the garage door. So not only do I have to move my wife's car, then back my truck up and, doing one of those a million point turns just to try and get it in here.
It's a 2-bay garage, ain't it?
It is.
Just your driveway's not really wide enough to back in behind her car?
My driveway is barely big enough to have my truck and her car in it at the same time. Like when I park my truck in the driveway, it's half in the grass and half on the driveway for her to still be able to open her door.
Well, how come it's such a narrow driveway but a 2-bay garage? That's weird.
I don't know. So it's barely big enough for 2 bays. Like with this workbench in here, we can't get 2 cars in here. Well, you guys probably can't see it. With the cabinet back there, we can't get 2 cars in here. You have to have almost nothing on the walls for you to get 2 cars in here. And when you do, there's maybe, I don't know, there's not much room to walk. When I had the Mustang, I would park the Mustang right in the middle of the garage, and there was just enough room to walk around it on both sides. So, but like it is a 2-car garage.
Yeah, it sounds like you'd barely be able to open the doors if you did have 2 in there.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way our garage is. I mean, there's not much room at all on the top or any sides or whatever if I was to pull my truck in there. But the thing of it is, it's built crooked. It's like, I probably told you this before, is where it's built, you got to angle up toward the house and back in. It's just difficult to get in there.
Mm-hmm. That's how my setup is.
Yeah, that's what I'd really like to have. See, that's why I bought that building last year, Ben, is to put my mower and stuff in. But it's, kind of a cheaply made deal, and I just never had the time to do it. And then my back got hurt and everything else. So I think I done better off trading it for this walk behind than keeping it and trying to put it up at any time.
Yeah. Ben, I'm trying to do the same thing this year. I'm hoping to get an enclosed setup, but I might not. I'm hoping it'll happen, but it may not happen this year. I think I might be being too a little ambitious this year for everything I'm trying to do. But if it doesn't happen this year, it'll happen next year.
What size motor's in your truck?
Motor, it's the 5.0.
5.0? Okay. That would be plenty of power to pull and enclose the size you're wanting. The only thing you would have to do is put helper springs or air shocks in the rear.
Yep, I think I have to put helper springs. So with the enclosed trailer, the weight of the one I was looking at, I can put 2 mowers and equipment and still have room before I hit the weight limit capacity of the truck, but it won't be much. But I'll probably have to put helper springs or something on it because a 3/4 ton truck is far out of the range for me right now.
Yeah. Like I say, my big goals for this year, really like the whole diesel mowers and all that stuff that I talked about before. I'm not even going to consider all that stuff that much anymore. My biggest goals is to get back what I lost last year, pay off the 0 turn this year. I mean, I'm not going to actually pay it off, but make enough money that I could, you know what I mean? And hopefully make an additional about $5,000 so I could buy a cheap 3/4 ton truck just to have something extra on hand. Because honestly, I mean, I may not ever have a problem, but 100,000 miles on my truck, if that's the original transmission and it's just a little 4-speed, it's a ticking time bomb, especially in these.
What truck is it?
2006 Chevy 1500 with single cab, short bed with the 4.8 liter and a 4-speed automatic, 4-wheel drive.
4-speed automatic. I don't know much about Chevys. I know my truck's got 100 and almost 70,000 miles on it now, and as you know, I'm not easy on it at all. I'm pretty rough. I mean, it thing's my race truck. I beat on it pretty good, but it's still doing me pretty good. I mean, for what it is.
Yeah, like I say, I may not have a problem at all, but I just with these hills and mountains around here and pulling that weight, which I think my towing capacity, according to whatever's online for that truck, is only like 4,000 pounds, 4,500 pounds.
That's worse than mine. I thought mine was bad.
Yeah, it's not much. But now where I work at, they have a long bed of the exact same truck, same motor and everything, and they've pulled a sewer flusher with it, and it handled it good. It didn't even hardly squat the truck.
Damn.
And those things are not light. It's probably got 500 gallons or more of water on it. So that's like, that's 2,000 or 3,000 pounds in just the water.
On a half-ton truck.
On a half-ton truck.
Wow.
But they pulled it with an F-150 too, and it done it well. Which it may not, the thing may not weigh as much as I think it would. I mean, you know, it's like 300, 400, 500 gallons of water. It's got a 4-cylinder gas motor on it, tandem axle trailer, heavy duty build. It's bound to weigh 4,000 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
But now the manure spreader that we got here, I hooked it to my truck one time to try and move it, and it almost put the wheels in the fender wells.
Damn.
It squatted it big time, and I don't think I've ever seen anybody else pull it with anything other than the F350 dually. But that thing has got a load of ton weight, which go figure the wheels are like almost at the very back of it.
Yeah, I agree, Ben. That's the reason why I'm not getting a 3/4 ton anytime soon. They're too expensive for me, anyways.
Yeah, I might possibly finance or something there if everything goes really well. I might finance a truck this year or something there because, you know, like 2015 Chevy 2500 work trucks, you can find them at, I think, decent deals, you know, like 15 grand or maybe 20 grand. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a, you know, pretty decent deal on such a truck. It's, you know, not super old.
Yeah. I had my eye on it was like a 2013 F250. It's basically my truck, just an F250 with the 6.2 gas in it. And it was a pretty decent truck, low miles. And they wanted around, the price ranged from 15 to 20,000. Some wanted close to 30,000 out here. You know, the price was varied all over depending on what kind of condition it was in out here. I really thought about getting it, but right now I decided to hit the brakes for just a little bit because I don't know what I'm going to do long term. And I just want to get through this year and see how it goes. But a brand new truck is far out of the picture for me right now.
I've kind of got a goal of when I turn 30, I'm going to get a brand new truck. But I mean, that's yet to be seen. But I ain't going to get no $80,000 or some crap like that. I might get something like a $40 to $50 or $40 to $50,000, you know, something there like that. But anything more than that is just crazy.
Yeah.
And I really want a Ford. I'm a Chevy guy, but I want a Ford. 2017 or newer. That new body style is just.
Yeah. See, I used to work at a place back on the Northeast where we would get them from the manufacturers before they would go to the dealerships. And we got those trucks before they were officially revealed. And man, that's a big freaking truck. When I first seen one and stood next to it, the bed comes up to like here on me. I was like, holy shit, this is a big truck. It's a pretty badass truck.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my bosses has a 17 F250, and it's a nice truck. I've been in it a couple of times and whatnot, and I love them things. They're nice trucks.
Yeah. My brother just bought a new one. I'm pretty jealous of him.
I really hope that I could find, I don't know if they just started making them or what, but somebody told me the 10-speed isn't an option with the 6.2 motor. But I think on the website it says there is on the Ford website. But I really want to get a 10-speed, whether I have to get a 7.3 motor or not. I really want a 10-speed.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
A 6-speed would be, you know, fine, but I just really want to have a 10-speed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree, Ben. I can't afford diesel trucks.
I wouldn't buy a diesel truck, honestly. If I was going to buy a diesel truck, I would go with a Dodge. Personally, I just think the V8 design is just not reliable. I mean, I don't know for sure, but look at the semis and, you know, these other big, extra heavy-duty industrial diesels. What are they? They're inline sixes or bigger, you know. I just think the V8 platform just ain't reliable.
If I get a diesel, if I were to buy a diesel right now today, it would be an older diesel, like a 2000 to 2003 F250 with the original 7.3 Power Stroke in it, or a Dodge. I would get that 5.9 Cummins in it. I can't afford a new one right now.
Yeah, I seen on Facebook somebody had a second gen 24 valve with. I think they said 300-some thousand on the body, the front end been rebuilt, and the engine and transmission had been rebuilt. and there was one like $8,500 for it or something there, which ain't too bad.
That's pretty good. See, for
Yeah.
me, guys want out the ass for that. You know, guys want close to 20 grand for it. And I'm like, for that price, I'll just go buy a base model truck at the dealership, brand new. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Nissan's. I think a Titan would be a great truck, and I would consider one of them. I'd like to get one of them XDs. I reckon the XD is more or less considered a 3/4 ton truck.
Really, I thought it was a half-ton truck.
Huh?
I thought it was a half-ton truck, but I also don't know about them.
I think the XD is considered a 3/4 ton.
I know they're pretty badass.
Yeah. I can't wait for Nissan to start making a 1-ton dually. You talk about a beautiful truck.
Yeah, that'd be a beast of a truck. Yeah. I'm kind of biased towards Ford. Like, I really like Ford, but at the end of the day, I'm whatever I can afford at the time and what's there on the dealership. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think, like I say, I think a 1-ton dually Nissan Titan with probably the 6.7 Cummins or something there like that. I just think that would be a beautiful truck. Not only tough, I just think it would look good.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing, Mikey? I know you're charging your phone up.
Oh, yeah, speaking of charge.
I've got my laptop plugged in.
I'll be right back. I got to grab my charger for this. I forgot to grab it.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that like the Nissan Titan. There's one guy that mows around here that has a Nissan Titan, but he blowed his motor up last year, and my cousin put a new motor in it for him. I don't know how many miles or anything was on it or whatever, but Ford, F-O-R-D, flimsy old rebuilt Dodge. Found on road dead, fix or repair daily, flip it over and read directions. Yeah, they got like a 5-liter in the Nissan Titan XD or something there. I've heard a number of people don't like them, but I think that was like on the first-gen Titans. I think they're a lot better now than they were. What's up, Lawn One?
What's up, Lawn One?
If anybody wants to hop up here, I got the link pinned at the top.
Come on up. Oh, what's up, Grasshopper? I didn't even know you was in here yet.
Did the most job yesterday. That's good. It was pinned. Let's see.
I say everybody come on up. I think everybody in the chat right now should come on up.
Yeah. I got it pinned now. I thought I had it pinned. Everything's going well so far. I've done my mile walk. It's just a overcast, dreary day. It's trying to sprinkle rain all day or mist a little bit, but just sitting here now killing a little time. Day's gone by pretty quick.
Yeah.
Oh, Ray's next video is going to be about Lawn One. Drama, drama, drama. I kind of blowed up after he made them videos about me. I gained like subscribers in no time.
That's what you got to do, man. You got to get the big dogs out here shouting you out. Man, one guy I want to come up, whether it's on anybody's live stream, somebody, it's I can't ever pronounce his name, the Australian guy, like Gubbits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. I really wanted to talk to him in person. I would like to meet him.
Yeah. Barbecue time. You're going to make me hungry, Cruz. It's about my lunchtime.
It's funny. I actually do more barbecuing in the wintertime than I do in the summertime. And I hate the cold.
Cheating his employees out of money because they're alcoholics. Ew.
Can you hold 9 people up here? I don't know if you answered that.
No, I don't have the paid version, so I'd say it's only 6.
Oh yeah.
I've been thinking about commenting and telling Ray, I know he's trying to do good and everything by Bo and whatnot. And see, I've worked with inmates. We get inmates from the jail and work them around here. And I'd kind of, be good to them or whatnot. And I treat them like people. If you treat them good, they would usually work good for you. But I know he's just trying to keep, get Bo on his feet or whatever, trying to talk some sense into him. But if he don't straighten up for too long, he needs to get rid of him.
That's one thing I'm afraid of is when it comes time, if I decide to hire somebody, trying to hire somebody.
Yeah, that's true, Cruz. I don't know. That's Ray's deal right there. I mean, I ain't gonna say a whole lot. I mean, I ain't been in that position really. The guy that I have working for me, he's got his quirks like anybody does, but he's a real good guy and he enjoys working with me. He says and respects me and everything. So if I lose him, I'm gonna be hurting because I probably won't find nobody else. A buddy of mine, he's a real good helper, but he stays so busy doing other shit, I can't ever get him to help me.
Yeah. I had one person so I tried to get somebody to help me 4 times last year, other than my wife and my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law was hands down the best person I've ever had come help me with anything because the
best people are always the ones you never can get to help you.
Yep. He came out and helped me. He has a day job, so he don't have time to, always come out and help me struggling, right? So, but when he would come out and help me, like when I got sick over the summer, he would come out and help me. Hands down, I don't have to tell him anything. He knows exactly how to do it and what to do, and I loved it. But there were times I needed help or I couldn't get it, and I offered somebody like $100 to $150 for just 4 hours worth of work, and I couldn't get somebody to show up. So I was like, well, screw it. I guess I'll never hire somebody.
Yeah, my problem is I don't know anybody. I just don't know anybody around here. And you think it's impossible in a small town, but I don't. I just don't know anybody.
Yeah, that's the same way it is for me. We live in a small town too, and I mow in small towns, but I just don't know anybody enough that I trust to come out and mow with me.
Yeah.
At the apartment complex, I got people all the time walking up to me asking me for a job, but they're not kind of the people I really want to give them a weed eater and a mower.
Yeah, I can't wait to get that thing in action either. It's going to be – I'm looking forward to using it, that's for sure. What's up, Mikey?
What's up,
guys.
Mikey? How's it going?
Hey, John. Man, just doing a job here and there. It's the wintertime.
That's right.
Taking it as it comes.
Yep, that's for sure.
Bo ain't going to straighten up unless Bo wants to straighten up.
Ray has talked so much sense into him. I mean, he's at the point now, he's beating a dead horse, I think.
But I don't think that, I think what it is, Ray feels sorry for him. That's the most part.
That's exactly it.
So
he's trying to help him, and, there's only so much you can do for the guy.
It's true. But yeah, I've been looking at them Nissan Titans, man. I'm a Ford. I grew up as a Ford, and I love my Ford trucks. I do. And it was a Ford till just last week. I said, you know what? I think I'll get a Nissan Titan. I said, babe, look at her car. It's got 250,000 miles, and it don't even use a drop of oil one. And I got on YouTube and started doing some research. Them sons of bitches got 4 cams in them. The Titans do.
Yeah.
And Johnny with Blades of Grass, he has one. He swears by it.
Yeah, they claim they're the best towing capacity half-ton on the market.
I don't know. Ford's got that new F-150. Got that. I don't know what the new Titan is, but Ford's got that new F-150. Is supposed to tow 10 to 11,000 pounds. I'm looking at an 06 model. I like the 06 body style. James with That's Right Wrong Care, he just got a new Titan. But I don't really care for the new body style. I like the 06 body style.
And the newer ones are all rounded and whatnot. They just I like the slightly older ones like you. The new ones look good, but the older ones they got more body lines and stuff to them.
And if you look at every truck, all the manufacturers are copying off of Ford when it comes to the headlights and the grill. They're all square.
Yeah.
Every one of them. GMC Denali, the new one, identical to the new Ford.
And these newer Chevys, they're growing on me. When they first come out, I thought they was ugly. The Chevys and GMCs, I think they're decent now. They're not horrible looking.
I still don't like the new heavy duty Chevys.
Right.
But the GMCs are freaking nice looking.
Yeah, that's the ones I'm talking about. The heavy duty ones. They're growing on me.
Yeah.
But I just woke up from a nap, be honest with you, and I turned the phone on and saw you live. I said, hey, his Archer's up there.
Yeah. I think I want to try and make this an every week thing, like every Sunday or so, about 1 o'clock.
Yeah. And that way everybody knows, hey, his Archer goes live at 1 o'clock on Sunday.
Yeah. It don't work out good trying to do it at home because these office chairs, the longer I sit in them, they still bothers my back and whatnot. But at home, the only thing I got is like, kitchen tables, kitchen chairs and whatnot, and they're worse. I can't sit more than 30 minutes. It starts bothering me there. And then, too, my parents watch TV in the evening, so there's that background noise and everything else. So just streaming at home just don't work out unless I'm home alone or something there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I had to come up here and get in another room of the house. Because Annie don't like me to go up on panel with her right beside me. She thinks everybody can see her. I said, no, babe, they can't see you. She's a little camera shy.
My wife hates it when I record her, too.
I mean, everybody loves it. When she does videos, there's a few videos on there of her doing the videos of me and her talking. Everybody loves it. She does good but she does better on videos than I do. She's been sick here lately, so she's not been able to.
So let me ask y'all a question.
Ask it.
We've probably talked about this kind of stuff before on different streams or whatnot, but as far as like physical advertisements like flyers and door hangers and everything else, you think there's going to be a real big problem this year with the coof going around, or just
That would probably be the best way to go to keep you from having contact with anybody else, is put you some flyers out. That way you don't come in contact with nobody else, and when they get home from work or whatnot, they see the flyer on their door or mailbox or whatever. You're not fully in contact with someone, but yet they still see you with your paper.
Yeah.
That's what I think about them.
Yeah. I'm pretty nervous about it because I know some people are crazy. Oh, he handed me this flyer. What if he's got the sickness or whatever? People out here, they either don't give a crap or they are absolutely paranoid about it. So I'm like on the fence of, am I going to do it or am I not going to do it? Yeah. So I think I'm going to do it until somebody says something to me, and then I'm like, well, I guess I'm fine.
I'm going to do the every door direct mail. It's going to cost a little bit, but man, you can pick out what neighborhood you want. And you're not going to burn no time, no gas, nothing. They mail it and hit every single house in that neighborhood for you. Yeah. Well, as long as you got the cards to go with it. So,
well, how do you do that? How do you do that for specific neighborhoods? When I go on USPS and look at it, and it shows the routes, and the routes only do what the route does. You can't if you want. Let's say if the route goes all around here and you want a neighborhood over here, you can't target that specific neighborhood. If you pay for it and have it done through USPS, you have to buy that route. So like in Harrogate, Tennessee is where I'm wanting to go to. Go ahead.
So if you go on, you know who Ben with Acme Lawn Care is?
Yeah.
Go on there, type Ben with Acme Lawn Care in your YouTube when you're looking something up. Type Ben with Acme Lawn Care, EDDM cards. Watch his video and he'll tell you everything you need to know how to do it.
Yeah. Well, and I've not really looked into it. I've just looked on myself on the USPS there, and it has specific, routes that you could pay for on there, and it wasn't horrible really. It's like I think to cover Harrogate, Tennessee entirely was going to be like $500, which ain't bad.
No.
But I'm keeping my budget this year for advertising only about $250. So I've already spent about two.
But you don't want to watch yourself too, because you got to start getting some most calls, and you're going to start getting this mind training like I did. You start thinking about with John up there. I saw him talking about earlier. He said, "I'm going to do a video. What made you go get into this business, and how'd you come about this business?" Okay, say for instance, David, you got a full-time job, right?
Yeah.
You're going to start getting all these phone calls, and you're going to start making all this money. You're going to be like, "Damn, I just went out and made $400 or $500 today. Well, damn, it takes me 40 hours to make that. Well, I can do this every day."
I'm already realizing that. Last year I worked typically only one day a week, about 12 hours or so. 48 hours a month. I was making as much as I do working 160 hours after taxes and everything comes out of my check. So I'm already and that's just on 25 yards. Like 13 yards a week, because some of my stuff's monthly or on call or whatever, just trim jobs. But yeah, I'm already realizing the money, and I'm figuring if I can get 30 clients like I'm wanting to this year, I'm wanting to get 30 weekly clients. If I can get that, I'm going to be making, with what I've already got now, I'm going to be making like $5,000 to $6,000 a month.
And you will.
Yeah, I should be able to handle it too, since I've got the zero turn, especially, and going to this area where it's a lot better.
Day long.
Do what?
All day long. If you can't handle 30 yards in a day or two with that zero turn and another helper, you better figure something else out. You're doing something wrong.
Yeah, I know it.
That's what happened to me last year with my full-time job. I had a full-time job and was doing lawn care, and it got to the point where I was losing money by going to work a day job for somebody else than what I could have been making for myself. And it was costing me more money to drive to my day job than I was making at my day job. In that one day I was working there, I was like, "Sorry, boss, it's my last day."
Listen to him.
Now, I wish I stayed just a little bit longer for my own personal reasons, trying to get a house and so forth like that. I wish I could have balanced it out, but at the time I was growing faster than I really thought I ever was going to. So it was one of those things. It's like I just kind of took the jump. I've always wanted to go self-employed, so I said, "Screw it, I'm doing it." But it worked out for the better of things. Hey, there's a Gubeck's Lawn Care. Sorry, I'm all over the place.
Yeah, you're good. You're good, John. I'm going to get on there today and find you, and I'm going to subscribe to you, brother.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Oh, I can drop his link.
The way I've tried to do it that way, it used to where I could go in a chat and click on somebody, and it would go right to their channel. It won't do it that way now. I got to go to YouTube and type his name in. So, I was spelling his name wrong. Is what it was. I was putting the H in it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I need to put the tag for that. Then I guess if people can find me, I might have to try that. But
yeah, it made it a lot easier for me. So
now, tell me if you're still here. Tell me if I'm saying this right. I've heard other people say it like this: Gubeck's Lawn Care or Lawn Mowing. But anyway, appreciate you coming by, brother.
Yeah, I say you come on up, man. I want to get to meet you in person.
Yeah. Up. Up.
Oh, he says he can't hang long. He's got to work.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
But yeah, a lot of guys ain't even full-time yet, but they're considering it.
Yeah.
With this pandemic going on.
The only thing I preach to people that want to go full-time, because nobody told me this when I was going full-time, is make sure you live in the house that you want to live in, or that you've already got your mortgage and everything that you're wanting to do, if that's what you're trying to do in life. Because as soon as you go full-time self-employed, it will mess you up trying to get a loan, because they want to see 2 years worth of experience, worth of taxes when you're self-employed for your business until you can get a
Also, make sure, also, if you go full time, David, say you go out here, say you go mow tomorrow, which you probably ain't gonna mow tomorrow, but make sure if you go mow tomorrow and you go here and do $450, right? Put that $450 in the bank because they look at that as an income. You can get a bank statement and it'll show, hey, this man's depositing money in his bank account daily, once a week, or whatever, and that's an income, and that's what they feed by.
Yeah. And see, last year, early in the year, I've done that quite a bit. The whole entire year, I cashed every check that I got and just kept the cash on hand at the house.
That
And
hurts.
well, after it built up for a while, and then I would take it and put it in the bank. Well, it got to the point to where, especially the pandemic happened and all this bullshit, you couldn't get into the bank and all this, so I wasn't doing that as much, and I was kind of paying out quite a bit of cash, and along with using my card because I had breakdowns and just gas, just all this shit I was having to pay all the time. But so the biggest part of the year, I didn't really put anything into savings, but this year. I'm just going to hang on to the checks, collect them maybe every 2 weeks. Well, probably just once, every week. Take all the checks to the bank and put, probably half or more of them into the bank. Just I'm going to keep money flowing into the bank as best I can.
But that's a good thing too, and that shows an income.
Yeah.
Especially if you go here and try to get a loan with anything. Because I went and got a loan, and they said that I had to get a bank statement, and I said, okay. And they said, why we want a bank statement is to see, because we can't call your employer and say, hey, I need to verify his income, and you ain't going to have no check stub because you're self-employed. And that's what they do. The more money you put into the bank, it shows how much you're making a month. But be careful on that with this new president. I don't want to talk politics, but with this new president, it can get taxed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think being a small business owner is going to change a little bit here within the next couple of years, if not this year. Not talking politics.
Y'all want to know what my bank is? It's called a black safe downstairs in the closet. I'll go cash the checks. I keep very little money in the bank. I got some money in the bank, yeah. I use that for emergency fund. But all my money goes downstairs because I know if it's in the bank, it's going to get taxed.
Yeah, lawn one there with the 1,000 door hangers. I'm the exact same way. I got 1,000 door hangers, and I'm waiting until either the first or second week of March to start hanging them out. It seemed last year, well, our newspaper changed what they was doing. They were giving out a free weekender paper to the entire county, and then you had to subscribe to the week paper, or you could buy it at grocery store, gas station, whatever. Well, now it's subscription only, and I think you can still buy it in the stores, but they do not give out the free weekender. Well, I advertised in the paper last year, and I waited till like the third week of March. I mean, we was just getting started mowing, and I advertised, and I got quite a bit from that. I got quite a bit of customers from that. So I'm going to wait. It's practically last minute. I'm going to wait till about then before I start hanging everything.
And you do. Whatever you find, David, that works for you and it's getting you customers, stick to it. My rule of thumb is if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. I'm going to try and implement Facebook a lot this year. I never had it before. And I'm going to try the door hangers, which I did that a couple of years ago with business cards on rubber bands. I didn't get shit from that. I put out probably 250 of them, and I never got a single call or nothing from that. But I'm going to try the door hangers this year.
Lawn one, I struggled from that last year too. I drove all over the place, and that's part of my restructure for my business this year. Was it adds up fast, man.
And speaking of that, that's what I run into.
Direct mail.
Yeah, that's what I run into this year already. I just got a call or a text there yesterday. Somebody seen my ad and they wondering if I could take care of their mom's, place or whatever. Well, I plan to not take on anything that is outside of town limits of the two towns locally that I do have customers in now. And I'm only going to take on the roads between them. Like, I service a triangle area, like here's my house, here's one town, here's the other town. And I just run that 20-mile loop every week. Well, if it's not on the road between my house and the first town, between there and the second, and then back to my house, I'm not doing it. And, last year I had a couple that were, a few miles out of town. I was doing just that one property. Now, I made money on it. I didn't lose a whole lot, but just driving all the way out there for 1 yard and coming back just wasn't worth it. And anyway, this customer, they're literally not even 2 miles out of town. Well, maybe 3 miles out of town. But it's up a pretty steep mountain the whole entire way up there. And with the mentality I've got right now, it's just not going to be worth to drive up there. And they probably wanted like every 2 weeks, probably wouldn't pay a whole lot. I mean, I haven't really given them a number yet or checked it out, but I probably just ain't going to fool it. Plus, I know it's a hilly property, and I'm trying to stay away from that because leaning on my seat is just going to aggravate my back big time. I already know.
Mm-hmm.
So
now I will take one outside of my route. I will take it there, but it's not going to be on that day. And the reason why I drive out there for 1 yard, I used to not do that. I tell you, I didn't. But I make it a different day. Okay, I do my route on that one day, and then the next day I go to a different location. The reason why I take that 1 yard is because I took many a time. Well, every time I do it, I'll take that 1 yard, and next thing you know, within that month, I end up with 5 or 6, and that's a different route, a different day.
Yeah,
That's pretty
well,
cool.
that's always been my mentality, but it never has lucked out for me that way.
Right.
Yeah.
It takes a little while for it to happen, but it does happen.
So now I've got to charge I'm going, I think my route this year is 10 miles from my house, like a 10-mile radius. I'm only going to go 10 miles one way. Then after that, I'm going to start charging more per mile after that for my time and my mileage for my truck and everything in order for me to do a yard. So if it's 20 miles out, it's going to be the $40 a cut or whatever it is, plus the $10, $15, $20, whatever the cost ends up being extra on top of that.
Now I tried to keep my routes like where everything I have is bi-weekly. I tried to keep one town on 1 week, the other town be on next week, and I never can maintain that kind of schedule because I've got more in this town than I do in this town. So I have a long day and a short day, and then weather happens, and I have to push some a whole week or whatever. So it's better to just run the 20-mile loop and be done with it.
I mean, you can do that, yeah. Are there plenty of houses in that neighborhood?
No. I mean, the two towns, my 2 local towns, the population is only 1,000 each. And the other town that I don't have a whole lot in right now, it's got better properties than this town, up closer my way. But there's just not very many people in this area. They wanted everybody, every 2 weeks. The market is saturated. The pay's not good. That's why I'm willing to try to go 50 miles to another area to try and, grow this business because I'm going to have to. I mean, pay is just not good around here for mowing.
That's why I say you want to go where there's a lot of houses.
Yeah. The population of Harrogate, Tennessee is 3 times what it is in these 2 towns around here. And then Middlesboro, Kentucky, Middlesboro, Kentucky and Harrogate, Tennessee are a mile apart. There's 15,000 people in a 10 square mile area down there. But up here, up here, you got my 2 local towns. I can go 40 miles up the road to another town and then another 20 miles to another town. And that don't even total up to 15,000 people. And that's, a 60-mile radius up on my end of Virginia. I can go down to the upper end of the county and do, 15,000 people in a 10 square mile area.
I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to go get some food.
All right, man.
Yeah, how many people per town? Like I say, my 2 local towns is about 1,000 each. The one I'm wanting to get into has got about 3,000 to 4,000, I believe. And then the other one, which is only a mile apart, is about 10,000. And I considered going to the other area, the places up northeast of me, and the next county's over, and one town I think is like 5,000, the other one's about the same or whatever. And I thought about actually servicing this whole area, but that's going to be like 120-mile service area.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah, so I decided, I'll just go down here where there's 15,000 people a mile apart and be done with it.
So the population of my town that I live in right now, which is my starting town, as of 2019, it was 2,667 people. Now, this is a smaller town compared to...
I mean, my whole entire county, in the whole entire county, and it's not a small county. It takes an hour to drive from one side to the other. It's shaped like a triangle. It's a real fine point and it gets bigger on the end. There's only 23,000 people in this whole entire county. And, they're scattered, and there's a lot of yards that you just don't want to be on anyway.
Yeah.
The business is saturated, and the cost of living is so low, people can't afford to pay a whole lot or whatever.
Yep.
I mean, it's just not that great. I'm going to look like a fool probably, because I've had 2 or 3 people say that the town I'm wanting to get in is good paying, and it's not a big town. It's not a big town by any means. It don't even compare to Johnson City and Kingsport, Tennessee, and Knoxville especially. Knoxville's fucking huge. But I've had a number of people say that town is a good town and pays good. Hey, Mikey, you're muted. Can you hear me, Mikey? There you go. You muted it again.
I know. My phone's crazy. Now it's echoing.
Yeah, I don't hear an echo.
I hear an echo.
I don't hear one.
Talk again.
Hey.
Nope, there you go. It's gone.
It cleared up. But yeah, that's what I do, man. And if I'm going to hit 2 or 3 different towns in one day, I'll tell you what I do. I'll start with the one that's closest to my house, okay? And I'll go all the way. Say, here's one here. I'll go all the way down that route right here, right? Boom, 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 boom. And then at the end of the day, I'm done. But everybody's saying go to your furthest one out, whether it be 2 or 3 different towns, and then work your way back home. That way, when you're done, you're close to home. So I'm thinking about doing that this year.
Cruz said, say only 200 used lawn services. Well, in town, I'd say that many or less.
I think it's less than that, actually, in my opinion. At least here in my area, it's a lot less than that.
Yeah, I mean, and there's in this town where I'm at right now, there's not really very many good yards. And when I say good yards, I mean, some that's not on the side of a cliff or full of trash and, junk or whatever. And, there's just not very many good towns around here, and there are good yards, and people have already got the good ones snatched up.
The population of my little small town is less than 3,000, just shy of 3,000. And I guarantee you, out of that 3,000, there's maybe 50 people, if that, use lawn service. And I bet it's less than that.
And the thing of it is,
you got to think about. That's what you got to think about. Can you make a living on that 50 people?
Yep.
No, not around here. You can't.
If I got all 50,
you got to step out a little bit.
In my area, but it would be here in my area. I think in my city, I could probably make a living off of all those 50. But my problem is there's so much damn competition. I'm not getting all 50 of those guys because there's literally 4 other guys here in my neighborhood alone, just several blocks away, that are all lawn care. And I just noticed a new family moved in that has a trailer. I'm trying to see what they use the trailer for. I think they might be lawn care too. So
I do that too. Whenever I go around trying to hand out like cards or whatever to try and get customers, I always look around. I'm like, okay, does their outbuilding have a little ramp coming off of it that they would drive a mower up?
Yeah.
Do they have a trailer with racks of any kind on it? I'm looking for that shit all the time.
I think they use it for a
Still put your cards out.
I haven't confirmed it yet.
Still put your flyers out on that. Still do it. Because I got a customer that has a trailer at his house. He uses it to haul his trash off. He has a riding lawnmower. He's not able to work no more. But he can take his trash off. See, you never know. So still put your cards out. It can pay off, guys.
Now on the going back to that population per service, there's I don't know what the ratio is, but there's a city that's the other city I service. It's just shy of 25,000 people. Is the very next city over from me. So there's just shy of 25,000 people. And I don't know the number of people looking for that service, but there is a lot of people that use that service in that city. So I think your area and location has a lot to do with that too.
Yeah. And
That's exactly right, Cruz. That's exactly right. You said it the way I was. You took the words out of my mouth.
Now, I made a video talking about this, and my prices could possibly be better on the type of yards and whatnot I do. But last year I had at a max of 25 or 26 clients. About 17 or 18 of those were weekly and bi-weekly. Only 2 of them was actually weekly. And a few of them was just on call, or whatever, little trim jobs and whatnot. And all season, I made $11,600 off of that many yards. That just goes to show how poor the area is. And like I say, I could have made a little bit more money on some of them. I have upped my prices this year on some of them, but still yet, the market is just horrible around here.
Yeah. Are you still looking at doing the dumpster rental thing?
I'm going to try to. I got to get that trailer built. I ain't had a good chance to do anything more to it, but somebody, I think not very long ago, has started a trash removal service in the county, and apparently they're doing pretty good. They've got like 150 some likes or whatever on their Facebook, so they're doing good, and that's something I've thought about doing. And
well, that's a sign. If there's one company that are doing good and they're the only competition you got, you could probably dip into it a little bit.
They're doing just residential. Yeah, they're doing just residential pickups. Just house trash. They're not even doing like TVs and furniture and stuff like that.
Yeah. See, here in my area, I can't do that because the big trash companies have all these little small cities locked in already. There's no, they put a bid in on it at the city hall and they got every house locked in. So there's no competition for them, for us little guys anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to try and get that trailer built up and try and see if there's any market for that kind of stuff. But Ben, to answer your question there, or say what, if I could talk, I am going to keep my full-time job. For if I can tell that the lawn care thing is going to be, worth pursuing, if it's going to be worth pursuing, I'm going to keep my full-time job until then.
It's a good idea. It's what I would recommend doing, but again, I'm not trying to tell you what to do or control your life. Just my piece of advice to you.
Just know you're making somebody else richer when you go to work every day.
Yeah, I know it.
That's the way I see it.
Tyler Guthrie tried to come up here, and he left about the time I clicked on it.
Who's this?
Tyler Guthrie tried to come up.
I don't know him, I don't think. I tell you, boys, ain't nothing wrong with gravy and biscuits up in the daytime on Sunday.
Man, I love me some gravy and biscuits, man. It's got to have that thick gravy, though. That thick gravy.
I tell you what, when you make gravy, get you some plantation sausage seasoning and mix you a little bit of that in it.
Yeah.
You're talking about if you pour it on your head, your tongue will beat your brains out trying to get to it.
Mickey, can you give me a bite from there?
Yeah. Damn, I ain't too good at this angle thing. There you go. I shoved it through the phone.
There you go. Oh, that was tasty.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that lawn one. I'm like I say, I'm hoping to make back everything I lost last year, pay the mower off, and I'd really like to get an additional $5,000 I could possibly at the end of the season buy a truck. If I can end the season at zero, I'll be happy. But, one of my biggest regrets, I've said this before, you see, at the beginning of last year, I tried to finance a tractor mower, an X750 diesel. Yeah. And I didn't have any credit whatsoever. Well, when they told me I couldn't get the financing, I just give up. Yeah. And what I should have done is tried to get a loan to get a zero turn then instead of then. Right. But what I did do is I got a $1,000 loan. I paid that off over the entire year last year to build my credit up. So this year, when I went to get the loan to buy the zero turn I got, I had no hassle whatsoever. I just told them what I needed. They done the paperwork. I got it, and there I am.
Good job.
Yeah, it's good.
But yeah, before you go full time, make sure your equipment and truck and everything's paid off. I mean, it's not, I ain't saying it's going to be a bad thing if you go into this business full time owing them bills. People do it every day. But make sure you got the clientele to back it up.
Yeah.
Another thing you're going to run into, somebody underbidding you. Somebody getting started, don't know no better. Say you cut a yard for $35, they're going to come and do it for $25, and they'll most likely get it.
Yeah.
But if you do good work and you stay consistent with your customers, you're not late or nothing, they will not drop you over the middleman, over that guy that's trying to beat you. They will not drop you as long as you're consistent and do good work.
See, what I think is going to hurt me a lot this year trying to get into this other town, I don't know what the market is like down there. And regardless, I'm not going to charge anything less than $40. By the time I drive 50 miles, I don't care if it's a 2-inch square of grass, I'm charging $40 for it.
Stick to that price. Don't lower it.
I'm not.
Right.
If you're
going to get people telling you.
Drop them. Get rid of them.
You're going to get people telling you. You're going to get people telling you, well, that guy, this other guy said he'd do it for 30 or 35. Can you match it? Say, no, honey, I honestly can't. You better call him.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had that my first job. I had somebody, I was doing a big leaf cleanup. Very first job. This was before my business was even officially a business. My first job, I had a leaf cleanup. I already had my price in my head. The neighbor comes walking over and asks me, will you cut my yard too? And I tell him my price, and he goes, oh, well, I've got a guy that does it for 20. I just looked at him. I'm like, if you got a guy doing it for 20, why are you coming over here asking me how much I'm going to charge to cut your yard?
I had a guy do that to me on leaf removal. See, I didn't have a good setup. Well, the yard was like a half acre, and a lot of pin oaks were around the yard. I mean, the leaves were, 2 foot deep over 3/4 of the yard. And he was wanting them just moved to the fence line or the wood line so he could burn them. Well, he had a mower with a vacuum like you got, John, and he told me, I could use that. And what I told him I would do is just mulch them or use my mower to help blow them because I didn't have a backpack blower or nothing at that time. And I was going to charge by the hour because I didn't know exactly what to charge per the job, and I told him like $25 an hour because that was my minimum. And he's like, well, I know a guy that'll do it for 10. And I'm thinking to myself, well, why the hell did you call me for? And he said, well, I got to go get him, and then he uses my stuff and everything. And I think to myself, well, yeah, and I'm using my stuff, and you think that I ain't worth $25 an hour? Shit.
That's cheap people right there. That's the kind of customers you don't want.
Ben's got a good question here. It was one of the questions up. He said, yeah, that one right there.
I was going to try and get to it. We got on.
I was trying to answer it too. Here in my area, I've seen that. It does hurt, or at least the lawn care business a little bit, because now you've got, Billy Bob Joe down the street's out of work, but he's got a push mower and he'll go cut somebody's yard for $10 to buy a case of beer and stuff like that. I've personally seen that, and that is a factor, and it is hurting our business a little bit.
Yeah.
Between that and people that are actually going out, and now don't get me wrong, I don't mean to say Billy Bob Joe like I'm offending somebody, but there's also people that because of the pandemic, they are forced to start a business, and it just happens to be lawn care is pretty easy to get into, in my opinion. And there's a lot of guys that are getting into the lawn care business because of the pandemic. So yeah, people working at home is a deciding factor, in my opinion.
You can get started in lawn care for less than $200.
They're losing their jobs and they got nothing else to turn to.
Yep. But they got a mower because they got to mow their own yard already. So, hey, let's make some money with it. I totally get it. I mean, I would too if I had to.
I don't knock nobody for trying.
Yep. You got to start somewhere.
What hurts what hurts the business and make those people look bad is when they start underbidding, like Mike said.
What I keep saying is right now we're getting ready to hit the best time to buy used equipment because tax time is coming up, right now. They're not going to know what to do with taxes or how much should they have saved for it and all that stuff. If they even are going to claim taxes, maybe they paid all cash and then they don't have to worry about that. But if they're doing it legit, maybe they don't know that, they don't know they need to save this much from each job. And then when they go to file for taxes, they're going to realize they're going to be like, oh shit, what do you mean I owe $8,000? And they're going to be selling all their equipment for pennies on a dollar. So I keep saying right now is going to be one of the best times to buy used equipment coming up.
It's 17%. Yep. I say about 17% out of each job.
Now, I don't know.
I say 20.
I don't know about
Give
this
you a
year.
little ballpark there, yeah.
I don't know about this year, but I know last year was a very good year for me. I know people going to say, "Well, how was a good year? You lost $9,000 after you spent everything you made and all this." I made a video about it. Y'all heard it. I'm beating a dead horse, but I doubled my profits. I doubled my clientele and everything last year. So I still consider last year to be a good year. I'm hoping the train continues because I think that in my area, there's just enough people that are still thinking, well, this COVID stuff isn't that bad, or whatever. Now I'm going to be blocked for saying that. But, I just think that in my area, it's not going to be that big of a deal to worry about still yet.
Yeah.
But who knows?
Are you on your phone?
Me?
Who,
David?
John? No, I'm on a laptop.
Have you got Dr. Reel's number?
Yeah.
Text him, tell him to get his ass over here.
I thought about it earlier today, telling him I'm going live, but I didn't do it.
Tell him I said get his ass here. Or he is written up for sure.
That is exactly right, Lawn One. You pay for a
Problem with
$15
lawn
job, you
care
get a $15
is
job.
cutthroat, but you get what you pay. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, 'cause I can't see the comments. I could if I hit the chat button, but my phone's so slow. I guess where I got too much junk on it, it takes me a minute to get back to this screen.
I'd say a lot of people did that, repairing their own mowers just to be able to use them and whatnot. I'd say it was a good year for that.
I got a lot
I'm
of
one
free
of 'em.
mowers from people throwing them out because they didn't want to work on them anymore.
Dude, I got this push mower, and I keep a push mower around. You never know when you might need it for a ditch or something.
Sure.
But anyway, I got this push mower, and the reason why I got this push mower, it's going to be a long story, but I'll make it short, though, as short as I can. When I first started, I had this one push mower, and I went through a lot of them, but I had this one push mower that was a Boland's with a Briggs and Stratton engine on it, a little green, 100 dark green one. I called that thing Old Faithful because it went through pure hell and back. When I got rid of it, last year, when I got rid of that mower, I literally cried. I left the junkyard with tears in my eyes because that mower made me a lot of damn money. Well, I was over there mowing at this house toward the end of the season last year. There sat another mower. It looked just like it, but it was damn near brand new. It looked like brand new. I said, man, what are you going to do with that mower? He said, man, I can't get that motherfucker to start to do nothing. And one of my customers. I said, put it on trailer. So I got it put on trailer, and I promise you all I did is dump the gas out of it because it stunk. Where it had been sitting, put new gas in it, and the motherfucker runs with no problem.
Yep.
And I said,
I got
you
rid
can't
of
beat
all
that
my
with a stick.
problems. Yeah, I tend to buy stuff in the wintertime to work on. That I can have a little project to work on. I've gotten rid of everything now. After maintenance and working on all my own stuff, I didn't feel like fooling with anything else. So I sold my tillers, which I paid $100 a piece for them, and I sold them for $100 a piece. And then I actually sold my good tiller because I don't use it enough to keep it. Which thing is, I mean, I could possibly get more business with it this year, but I don't use it enough to keep it. So I'm thinning my herd out some, and I've got my push mower up for sale too because I've got another push mower that I'm going to keep, but my bagging mower I'm going to get rid of because I don't need it. I ain't bagging no yards.
Well, I got a bag of yard. I got told this year I got to bag the front entrance. Y'all see it. I'm going to make a video on it. When the president ain't there, it was the HOA, and it's just a strip because it was mainly all parking lot there. The damn place looks like it's condos and they're hooked together. If you ask me, it ain't nothing but a set of damn bunch of apartments. So anyway, it's just like a little strip. I can get 2 swipes to my zero turn. Yeah, use it. That ain't what they want. They want it bagged because of the cars and there's so much traffic on that road. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to bag it. That might save me an insurance claim.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's something else. Make sure you get insurance before you go full time.
Yep.
I've got insurance.
Yeah, I was about to say my advice is get insurance as soon as you can, even before you go full time.
Yeah, yeah.
that kind of goes back to like what we were talking about in the beginning of the stream, is somebody's always going to blame you for something.
Yeah.
Yep, and whether or not you did it or not. And that's one good thing about these YouTube videos. Try to YouTube a video every yard you can.
Yep.
Because if that one house, and it saved my butt, that one house says you broke a window and you got it on video when you're walking around the property and you show the damage on your video before, that tells them you didn't do it.
Yep.
Now, what kind of coverage do y'all have? Like just general liability and like how much in coverage, or what do you got?
I've got really good coverage. I don't know what the minimums usually are, what people have, but I know I've raised mine. It's like 2 million and 2 million in damage. It's 2 million and 2 million, whatever it is. It's like really freaking good, is whatever it is.
Yeah, mine's $1 million. I guess you can say $2 million, because the way they explained it to me, you know, they use these funny words and they describe. They'll tell you, say for instance, you do this. Okay, here's what they told me. If I'm out here mowing and I knock somebody in the eye with a rock, they can go to the doctor and he'll cover them up to $1 million. Okay. And then they said, with all in that same week, they didn't use the word 2 million. So I think I got 2 million if you ask me. All within that same week, if I go out here and I bust a rock out of the president's house or whatever, within the same week, if I can't pay for it out of pocket, that covers up to $1 million as well. So
I also
damage,
don't have a deductible either. I've made that.
No, I do.
Too. Yeah.
I got one. It's $500.
Yeah, I don't know the particulars on mine, but I know I got 1 million in coverage and no deductible, $450 a year.
That's probably what I was trying to tell y'all. 1 million in damage and 1 million if somebody gets hurt.
I know whatever mine is. I don't know the exact numbers because it was a year ago when I set it up, but whatever mine is, it's above whatever the normal is. So if it's 1 million and 2 million, mine's 2 million and 2 million or something like that. It's really high. Plus, I have no deductible on it.
And a lot of them guys, when they see you got insurance, especially the commercials, you'll get them because you got insurance.
Yeah. I'm staying away from commercials. I'm just going to keep the one that I have, and that's it. And it's funny, you know, me and John talked about the O'Reillys. They didn't even require insurance.
I was just about to say, my video yesterday, I mentioned that I have not had one person ask me, other than a scammer, ask me if I had insurance, even out of all my commercials and my big apartment complex. I don't know if they already knew I had it or if they assumed I had it, but not a single person has ever asked me for insurance other than a scammer.
Yeah, that's the thing.
My HOA asked me for it. My HOA asked me for it yesterday. He said they're going to have a meeting coming up Tuesday night, and they had to see all proof of license and insurance.
I can understand that.
Now, the commercials that I have that I got rid of this year that I'm not going to do this year, they didn't require me to have insurance, never asked for me to have it or whatever. But they're the only people that's ever asked me for the, you know, my information or whatever to give me the tax form, W-2, whatever it is. You know what? I don't
think it is, ain't it?
But they're the only people that's ever asked me for that. But I don't advertise, I don't say or nothing that I have insurance. I don't let anybody know. If somebody asks for it, I tell them. But I'm just going to stick with residential, and if they don't ask for it, I ain't telling nobody I got insurance.
No, because you got to get proof. You got to go and take your card. I don't get a card. I got to go get a certificate. I get a certificate and take over and show it to them. And it'll say, to who it may concern of the business owner, and it'll be a printed out certificate coming from the insurance place. That's how I had to get proof to show it. So it's just it ain't a hassle, but again, it can save you a job too.
Yeah. I like that too. It looks more presentable and more professional when you're taking it to a customer.
Yeah, right. I could just see, you know, rolling up on a property and the customer knows I have insurance. Next thing I know, you know, they're out there saying, you broke a window. And, you know, like, because I would probably at this point think, you know, well, I've been doing this long enough. I know what's going on. And then, you know, I wouldn't film or whatever. And then here they come out saying I did it, whether I did it or not.
So I say you better film if you can, but that HOA will not let me film. So,
damn, $25 a month. That's pretty good. No deductible.
Damn,
pretty good. I've heard of Thimble.
I've never heard of them. I don't know. See, I deal through an insurance broker. They, shop around or whatever, find the best fit for you. And I'm not even sure what insurance I actually got. I just know I get it through that company.
Mine's Liberty Mutual.
Yeah, I got Castlewood Insurance is the broker up in Castlewood, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, I've not damaged anything. The only thing that I know for a fact that I've damaged, I broke that satellite cable one time, which the company fixed that for free, and I offered to pay anything on it, and they didn't. The customers didn't take anything. And I did put a hole in the siding of the house, and the people living there said they rented it and said they didn't know nothing about it, which I probably shouldn't be saying that because if the owner were to see this now, I'd probably be paying for it.
And so I keep my business separate from my YouTube channel. My customers will not find my YouTube channel.
Don't get all excited, David. Don't get all excited and tell what you broke, because you'll have 500 people. Hey, you said you broke his. It wasn't broke before, and then they're mine. It wasn't broke before, but yet it's broke because they've seen this video.
Yeah.
Somebody else needs to come up here. Everybody being camera shy.
Yeah, I know it.
Yep. See, with my insurance, kind of touching what Grasshopper just said, with my insurance, I'm limited on landscaping jobs I can do. And when it comes to breaking ground, I'm limited. I'm only covered for up to so many jobs up to a certain size. I cannot at all, under any circumstances, do any kind of tree work. If it comes to dropping a tree, I'm not covered at all for it. So I'm strictly pretty much mowing is what my insurance is.
Yeah.
For mine, whenever mine comes due, they just send me a bill and I just send a check. And it just renews. So I never looked into it. Do what, Mikey?
I just refuse to touch trees.
Yeah. See, I kind of thought about it. I would like to. I had 2 customers that want trees dropped, and I actually just spent last week talking to them about it. I think they're going to do it, and I'm going to haul it away. Because my insurance won't touch it dropping them, and because they're so close, me personally, I don't want to drop it because it's so close to a house. I don't want that risk factor on me. But I thought about it because there's good money in that. But at the same time, I'm just like, it's kind of an expense to make to go into that. But who knows? Maybe 5 years down the road, I'm all tree work,
Mm-hmm.
I've got a John Deere X540 54-inch cut. It is a hydro foot pedal forward to back, and it's got differential lock, power steering, power deck lift, and everything. But it's not nearly as fast, but I really think that it's definitely worth starting out with a tractor like that, because if you make 3-point turns with a zero turn to keep from tearing up the turf, I think you could turn around just about as fast with this tractor as you could a zero turn. But it is a little bit slower, but it handles some ground. I can do a half-acre yard, weed eating and everything by myself in right about an hour. Of course, weed eating varies on what type of yard and whatnot, but
yeah.
Look back at some of my videos and you'll see I've got some mowing footage, old mowing footage, but I've got videos on those tractors.
Yeah, Sundays, guys, I don't do nothing. I just lay around on Sundays. That's why you see me laying in the bed.
Now, that would be neat. Just get insurance for a job and that be it. I guess that's what you mean, like if you go on multiple days or whatever.
Yeah. How many customers you got, John?
That's kind of a good question. So last year I had, before the pandemic, just shy of 30 customers. I went full time, pandemic hit. I lost about a dozen. Over the course of the year, I gained them back, but now, effective now, I have dropped all of them except for officially 4. So I'm starting this year right now, basically started over with only 4 customers, and I'm working on locking in new ones now. So to answer your question, right now I have 4 customers technically.
I heard you. There was somebody talking in the background here, so I muted it. Hey!
I just put my channel link there in the description if you want to check it out. Um, I think it could potentially attract residentials, but I just don't think it would be worth it, honestly. I think you'd run into, like John said, you'd run into as many people interested in scamming you as many people that are interested in hiring you just because you're insured.
Truthfully, in my experience that I've had, giving out a business card, I've never landed a job specifically from a business card. Usually I've already gotten the job. They found me on Google or Facebook or something like that, and I give them a business card just so they have my contact information. But I've never once given somebody that said, hey, I want a lawn care service, and I've given them a business card. I've never once got a job from that. That's just from me and my experience that I've had so far.
I'll tell you a crazy story. I was mowing across the street from this lady's house, right? Well, I tried to pick up the one. Say her name's Joanne. I don't know her name. We're going to talk about Joanne. So Joanne saw me mowing across the street from her house, right? Well, I gave her a business card and told her, I said, you need some at least weed eating done. I said, I don't mind coming weed eat for you since you got somebody mowing and I'm already over here. I could just keep on weed eating and blow it off. She didn't hire me, but who did was her sister down the street. Never met her sister or nothing. I didn't even know her sister existed. But her sister must have been saying, hey, I need to get my yard mowed. Well, Joanne happens to remember about my business card, and that's how I got to her sister's yard. So it's got its pros and cons. That lady's a good customer. Speaking of her,
I've dropped a few customers this year, and I just called them and talked to them, told them, what's going on. And the same way with upping my prices. So far, I've just, let them know through emails, calls, whatever. And so far, I've not had any problem. I've got a couple more I'm going to go up on, not much. And I believe they'll be fine with it too.
Lawn One, I don't know about calling me a professional. I wouldn't say I'm a professional, but I would say I'm somewhat I've got experience, but I don't think I'm a professional in this at all.
I use my personal cell, which there's a bit of a backstory on that, and I'm not going to say right here on.
You don't have
to. I may mention in a comment or something there, but I ain't going to say it on here just because.
You don't have to.
I have a business cell phone. I'm the guy that I try to separate my personal phone and my business phone because, I don't want to have to go through my personal phone and they see a picture from last Friday night in it or something like that. Or I take a picture of the yard and I accidentally send them a picture of last Friday night, that kind of thing. And that would get pretty bad and pretty awkward. So,
especially if it's your old lady's boobs.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Or if my boobs, that's even worse in my opinion.
Well, that looks nice, John. But I asked about the yard.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So between that and I'm also the kind of guy that I'll answer. So on Facebook, if you message me on Facebook, I'll always answer through my business page. But if you call me and it's past my business hours, if I say I'm done at 8 and you call that phone, I'm not answering that phone anymore after that. But that's just me. That's part of me trying to separate, have a bit of a personal life outside of mowing. That might not work for everybody, but again, that's just what I do.
That's good, Lawn One.
Now, kind of along the lines of the personal or business phone, do you all use a separate card for your fuel or separate, for purchases or any, purchase cards for different categories related to your business, or do you all just use cash or whatever you have?
I pay cash.
So it depends on what I'm getting and how much I got. Usually, I don't really have that many customers last year that paid cash. So if I got cash, that was just a bonus for me and my wife to go out to eat somewhere nice that week or stuff like that. Of course, I'm not saying this on camera now. Hopefully there's no freaking IRS person working. Be like, oh, yeah, how much cash did you make? But, so I have a business account that I started from the get-go, and that's where all my checks and stuff would go in. And I to pay for gas for all the stuff and equipment and stuff like that was from my business account. So I did separate my personal account from my business.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I cashed every check that I got and just kept the cash on hand and everything. And I would use that to buy whatever I needed physically, or if I was doing online purchases or big purchases or whatever, I'd use my debit card. But I've thought about getting another account with a card and everything to use mainly for fuel to help me keep up with fuel better. But I don't know if it.
Sorry.
Hey, what's up,
Hey,
Shane?
Shane, get your ass up here.
Yeah, come on up, sap sucker.
You sap sucker.
Hang on, let's see what.
Sorry to cut you off. I just seen that. I'm like, oh shit, we got a big guy here. Big dog is in the house now.
Yeah.
Now, that's what you need to listen to. If Shane would get his ass up here and let him tell you how he does it, he's helped me out a ton when it comes to buying fuel every day or whatnot. Get your ass on up here, doctor, and give him a prescription.
I like Grasshopper. He said we should all be using the answering service to take calls while we're working or after hours. Did any of you guys use that?
No, I use my own answering service. That or sometimes Annie will answer the phone. I guess you can call her an answering service, my wife. Or soon-to-be wife.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I actually really like that idea. I don't know enough about it, though.
Right.
Lawn one, that's pretty good to have 130 and 15 are commercial. That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Whoa.
What's up, gentlemen?
Ah!
What's up, Mr. Shane?
How are we?
Get blinded.
Grasshopper, you sapsucker, get your ass up here, Neil.
He needs to.
And Neil is a smart guy when it comes to what are you guys talking about? It Sarah was live. Sorry about that. We did not know.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I didn't know Shane, or I'd have been over there too.
No. It's all good, man.
All
all
right,
good.
Shane.
MVG Adventures in here
David.
too. Everybody's coming in here now.
What's that?
Give David, if I can figure out this damn pointing thing, how and to buy fuel. Yeah, that works. When it comes to buying fuel every day, he asked, did you use credit cards, your bank card, or your cash? Which is the best route to go? I told him what you did for me, and it helped. Now give David a prescription about buying fuel.
Prescription.
Basically, how you do it.
Yeah, I'm in Hazard. You want to
I'm gonna call my mom.
Okay, honey.
You have fun, okay?
All right. It depends, man. If your credit's good, I always go the credit card route. But what I do is fill up it like on a Sunday. Seems like gas is a little bit cheaper on a Sunday sometimes in our area. But if you've got those fuel perks that you can use, I always go down to Giant Eagle on Sunday and fill up on that. Like once a month, because Sarah shops like once a week at Giant Eagle. But to me, I would go credit card or cash. The reason I go credit card is simply my credit is good, and I pay the bill off weekly. I don't wait till the month ends. I just sit down on a Saturday night while we're, working on a video or something, and I pull all my cards up and I just pay them off right then and there weekly. That way I have no finance charges absolutely at all. I don't forget a card, because when you get in the season and you're moving constantly 6-7 days a week, sometimes it's easy to forget, hey, I didn't pay that off. But for me, like last year, we used credit cards on everything. We paid $6.05 in interest. And that's because I needed to let one card get some interest, or else they were going to shut me down. We ended up getting $890 back.
Damn.
So that $890 went into our savings account in December to help pay all of our investments we have throughout the winter. So yeah, I use it. If you don't have good credit, you get a credit card. And I'm not talking about having bad credit where you owe people a lot of money. I'm saying if you don't have good credit yet, just because you haven't bought it, you haven't gotten a credit card, I still think if you want to build credit, you have to have a credit card. It's almost imperative. But if you want to stay completely away from credit cards, I'd go cash, man. But I wouldn't be putting 10 in one day, 10 the next, 10 the next. I would fill that sucker up and run it until it's down on a quarter of a tank and then go right back and fill it up again. I just think it saves more money and time. But, you know, everybody does it differently. I'm a huge save your money kind of person. That's why I'm not really into buying a whole bunch. Now, I bought a whole bunch of products last year. I bought the truck. We bought the mowers. I just bought my green touch racks, which I got one purchase left. And when that's done because we are in a mode now with this new administration where one thing people better remember, if you do not have health insurance come the end of this year, they are going to nail your balls to the wall with that tax credit thing that you're going to have to pay. When President Trump signed the executive order that we didn't have to pay for the health care, that saved us $4,700 in taxes. Guess what happens next year? I don't have that write-off. Neither do you, or you, or you.
Yeah.
So that means when
Nobody.
we file our taxes, we're paying for everybody that doesn't have health insurance. I don't have $5,000 to go blow this year on something. I got to save it. And we're also looking within the next 4 years to move out of our house into a nicer area. That's going to cost us more. So everybody can go buy all the products they want and spend millions because they will. I ain't buying nothing else. I got 2 trimmers that work, a mower that works, a blower that runs. I got edging shovels. I got a dump trailer. I'm good as gold.
Yeah, you heard it here first. He's saving up for a new mansion.
Yeah. All that YouTube.
Right.
Yeah, them super chats.
If we live on the YouTube money, we won't even be able to pay this house payment. Let me tell you that. But
yeah. See, that's kind of what I worry about for this year, where I bought the zero turn and everything, and then last year spent out so much on repairs and maintenance and everything. But what I should have tried to do, but looking back, I probably couldn't have been able to do it, is to try and get the loan to get the zero turn last year, because I had absolutely no credit at all last year. I took the $1,000 loan out in order to build the credit, and that's why I got what I have now, and that's probably why I got the $6,500 loan as easily as I did.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, I learned my lesson. My credit score was a 610 when I met Sarah. Her parents told me, you've got to get credit cards. As soon as I got my first credit card, within 30 days, my score went up to 665. Second card I got, my score went up to 695. Fast forward 8 years, my credit score is 790.
I'm surprised that mine added up as quick as it did. I paid that loan off, and that's the only thing I've ever done to build up credit. In 1 year, I went from 0 to 680.
Yep.
I thought that was pretty good.
That is good. And I honestly, in today's culture and everything, if you're right at 700, 715, you're doing really well. Because it is hard. Everything is done by credit. You want to buy something on the internet, you got to have a card. You want to buy something, you want to get a loan payment somewhere, they want it directly coming out of your checking. Everything is done on a credit system nowadays. That's why it's so important. And the only thing I urge people to do, and this is all I'm about, stop going in debt over everything you see on YouTube. because people tell you it makes it easier. A mower, a trimmer, look, I don't care what trimmer you got. Echo, Stihl, Ryobi, Craftsman. A trimmer's a trimmer. They turn on, they trim yards. None's going to do it better than the next one. They're all the same to me. Because you're all talking dollars and cents then. What's the difference between a 91R and a 111R? About $50. What's the difference in them when you're maintaining a yard? Absolutely nothing. Nothing. How many guys are going to go out and trim 5 foot tall grass every day of their life? Very, very rare. So just get what you need to start your business, run your business, put equity back into your business, and as you want to grow, then grow. And now look, there are guys out here that want to have 10 crews. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. Doc, Shane doesn't want that anymore. Shane is on the downslope. I've got 17 years left. If I had 34 years left, if I was, John, how old are you, man?
I'm 27.
If I was your age, I would go balls to the wall, bro. I don't know what your plans are. David, you're 25. I would go balls to the wall. Mikey, you're what? How old are you, Mikey?
38.
So you've got another 11 years to catch up with me, dude. You guys all could go out there, run multiple crews if you wanted, and really build
But
something.
that.
We'll see. My plans are going to change. You know, I restructured my business for this year. We'll see how I do this year. And then at the end of this year, I'm going to step back and look at it and see where do I really want to go with my business. You know, next year I want to see if I'm really even going to continue cutting grass after that.
So how many accounts do you have, John?
That's a trick question I was just answering for these guys. So last year, I'm going to try and make this a little short for y'all. Last year I started just before the pandemic. I had just about 30 just before the pandemic. And then the pandemic hit, and I lost about a dozen of them. So throughout the year, I gained them back throughout the year at the end of the year. However, my main problem, I don't know if you've seen any of my videos, my main problem I had is route density didn't exist last year. I drove all over the place. Yeah. So I stepped back, you know, I put some numbers at the end of the year, and I restructured my business. Going into this year, I dropped everybody except for 4 customers. I kind of started over completely this year. So to answer your question, as of right now, I only have 4 customers locked in for this coming up season. As I'm starting over, I'm locking in new customers now.
Okay, so
holy shit! Look at that.
You want to go completely route. You want to go complete route density, right?
Yep.
That's your main goal. I'll tell you something that Grasshopper Cruise, what Neil taught me, what Dirty taught me, what Ray taught me, get the upper end clientele and charge them because you're a professional. This coming year, somebody calls me to do a $30 lawn. I ain't even wasting my time. I am not wasting my time on it. I am a business. I need to make money. Last year, I insisted on making money, and we probably made more than we ever had, and that's during a pandemic. I learned from these guys to stop undercutting myself, go after the big jobs, go after the high-end clients, and when you give someone a price and they start to digger, you just simply turn around and walk away.
Yep, that's what I said in the beginning. I learned that the hard way in the beginning.
Yeah, you just look. For me, now I've got somebody to sub my mulch to now, but I'm still going to be doing 1 mulch job a week. I'm going to be cutting all my lawns. I got 65. I'm probably going to take that down to about 55 because I don't want the hassle of all the, oh, I forgot to leave you a check. Oh, I forgot to do this.
Yep.
All the forgots are going to be forgotten.
See, that was the only thing. I had to chase money last year, and I got tired of that. You know, customers wouldn't leave a check and stuff like that, or, oh, can you meet me at my job? And I got tired of that. So that's another reason why I dropped everybody and basically starting over this year.
Well, I have a guy that is totally out of my route, but he's the first guy I ever dealt with. He pays me well. He bought my lawnmower from me. And anytime if I told him tomorrow, hey, I need paid up front for the year, I'd have a $4,000 or $5,000 check sitting waiting for me. I will not get rid of that guy. And I don't care route density, no route density. That I'm going to be taking care of his yard until the day I'm done. And because he is super good to me. And anything I need, all I got to do is ask, and it's done.
How many days do you work a week, Shane? Do you have a schedule? You only work so many days, or do you work?
Last year we were working 7 days a week, but I had 65 customers, full service, pulling weeds, trimming hedges, doing mulch. We did a little over 400 yards of mulch last year, which mostly Justin did all of that while I was out mowing. And we stayed busy. I mean, we got to the point where we were taking a day off every week. And that's what I'm going to do this year. I've told Sarah, I've told everybody and myself, more importantly, I'm not working 7 days a week.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
Only freaking grass, man.
Hey, see, I kind of had that mentality there last year because I went from, working 5 to 7 days a week, a full-time job, and trying to fit in mowing just wherever I could. But I was trying to stick with just 1 day a week mowing, and that was it.
Hey, throw up Ray's comment, and Neil, I have no idea what you're talking about. $179.95 for the phone calls and texts. Oh shit, I know what he's talking about. Yeah, I don't charge people for advice, Neil. Neither do you. I don't know if you guys know Neil or not very well. Awesome guy, man. Awesome guy. Very smart about business. Ray is super smart about business. I'm just waiting for the day that Ray's video says, I finally killed Bo.
Oh, you mean Ray, your brother-in-law?
Yes, Ray, my brother-in-law. I'm waiting until he absolutely just slaughtered. I told him a long time ago, I said, dude, I just done pulled him out of the car and whipped the shit out of him. I can't deal with that. That's lunacy, man. He says, come on, man.
He does feel sorry for Bo, and I see it too, but
I understand.
It's bad.
He promised Bo's mother he would see after him. I get that. But at some point, man, you can't fix that kid. He's unfixable because he has no pride. He has no ambition. He has no guilt about what he does to people. It's almost like the guy is completely heartless.
He is careless, yes.
I know he's not, but it seems that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's careless.
So, John,
if it involves alcohol, then yeah, Bo's all for it.
Where do you live at, John?
I live just outside of Springfield, Missouri, about an hour and a half down from Danny.
Okay. I had no idea, man.
Yeah.
I spent a week about an hour and a half from where Mikey was, but he never did come visit me.
No, we were going through some time. And that sucker is in a mental home now, but they won't tell us where he's at.
Ray said he's mad at him.
They're keeping him safe, buddy.
Shane, you're from Columbus, Ohio, ain't you?
Yeah.
I was watching a video. I got to say this. Shane, did you ever see a Batmobile car floating around Columbus, Ohio?
I've seen it here before, but I don't quite remember where or when.
I watched a guy on YouTube last night that built that thing. And he said he was going around. He said he was going up and down the streets and down. Let me say this: downtown Ohio. I think he said on High Street.
Yeah.
Okay, he said the cost was off for him when he left the club, that they told him to get on it and everything. I said, damn, that's right down Shane's alley.
It's about 15 minutes away.
Is it?
Yeah, Broad Street is, Broad Street has a real bad part. Then they go right into Reynoldsburg, where it's a really nice area. So Broad Street's about 40 miles long.
He said he was down there when the Insane Clown Posse was doing their little I don't know, their concert. And he said he pulled up and didn't know what part of town he was in, and all these clowns were standing out there going crazy. He said the only way he got them off their car was he raised them fake machine guns up out of the Batmobile car and started firing fake rounds, and them clowns scattered like cockroaches.
Yeah,
I said, damn, I wonder if Shane remembers that.
You could probably go to jail for doing something like that.
That's what he said.
So,
I said, damn, I wonder if Shane knew about that.
How long have you been in business, John?
Last year was my first year.
Okay.
So I still have a lot to learn, but within that last year, I learned a lot.
Well, I tell you what, man, I really like your videos. You got some really good content there on your videos.
Well, I appreciate it. I've been around the block, I guess you can say, within the last year. It's
yeah. And
we got a bromance going on in the comment section here.
Neil says Ray is my lawn care hero.
I gotta say something about Ray Ray. On one of his videos about Shane. Now, this is all jokes. What kind of fool will sell his lawnmower to a mowing customer? Don't he know he's going to lose a customer?
It is a long time ago.
I know. It was, wasn't it?
Ray's a good dude, man. I've talked to Ray many times. Ray is a really nice guy.
He is a good guy.
Shane, I probably should have mentioned when I said how many customers I had last year, I probably should have mentioned that quite a few of them were large, including a very large apartment complex. So my number was low, but I'm still doing pretty good.
Now, do you have another job at all?
Do I have a what?
Do you have another job, or is this your full-time?
Nope. I did last year. I went full-time last year right after the business got going. I was losing money driving to work than what I was making there.
Yeah.
So I quit my full-time job and started lawn care full-time.
Ray, you know we love you.
Now, line one, let's see. The link should be pinned at the top. If you're on a phone, you just tap it. It'll open up a new window. You continue with the email that you use your Google or your YouTube with. Click on that email, and it'll ask you if it can access your mic and your camera. You let it do that. You say allow, and then you should pop up on here, and I can put you on the panel.
I'll tell you one thing about Ray's wife. Super nice lady. And I've seen some pictures of stuff that she cooked. I've got to get to Georgia. That's all I can tell you. Got to get to Georgia to visit Ray. I would like to work with Ray for like 2 days and work with Bo, because I think I would probably bury Bo underneath a mower. And I don't know if Ray would be upset with me or happy with me.
All right, I'm gonna step in on this. Shane, you remember what it was like when you come to Tennessee? They got the same kind of grass.
Yeah, but listen, one thing Ray don't have a huge amount of is big hills.
No, he don't.
Okay, them hills in Tennessee, John, I'm telling you, you think you worked hard, brother. I thought I did. I was like, man, I can do it. I got to Tennessee the first day. I was literally down on all fours, dude, crawling up a hill, begging for water. It is brutal.
Yep.
Brutal.
I wouldn't even took that job. I'm sorry for him, but I wouldn't even took that damn yard.
It wasn't my stuff, man. It was somebody else's.
No, I mean for him, I wouldn't even took it. And honestly, working with Red Ray, you probably would be better off. If you worked with a dog, you'd be better off.
Ray throws down on the grub. I'll tell you, his wife can cook, buddy. She can cook.
Oh yeah, I seen it on Instagram.
Are you married, John?
I am.
Are you? Do you have any children?
Nope. Thank God.
Guys, I'm going to do this and embarrass John. I hope I don't, but how many of y'all think this dude's got the best beard in YouTube? I'm telling you, man.
Second best. I think Lawn Commander's got the first.
No.
No?
You
I don't know.
got
Juggernaut's got a pretty good one, too, though.
You got the best beard, bro. I'm telling you, that thing is clean, sharp.
Yeah. I think you're giving me a little too much credit there, Shane. I mean, today it's all right.
I'm telling you. Mikey, who's laughing?
I did. I was laughing when he said it, but he was talking to you when John said, "You think when he's giving you something?"
And see, Ray's got it. Oh no, Bowman, your beard ain't better than John's. John got best beard.
Bowman's just got that scrub like I do. Whenever mine gets long, it just curls up and looks like shit.
Now look, Bowman's got a nice beard. I'll give him that. But this guy up here, man, he's getting the trophy, bro.
We're gonna see how long I can get it. So I had it down to like here before, but it was kind of scraggly. It wasn't really thick like it was now. So now I'm gonna keep it shaped up. I'm see how much longer I can make it while it's still shaped
now,
up.
Does your wife like the beard?
She loves it. She don't like the baby face. The last time I shaved it, I went baby face. See, my hair grows so much, like so fast, so I can completely shave clean, and this will be back in like a week. So the last time I did it, I used to always change it up. I had a goatee for a while, and small little chin straps and all kinds of shit. So the last time I went completely clean shave, my wife looks at me and goes, "Don't ever do that again."
So you're saying she likes those shag carpet seat covers?
She likes the shag carpet going on.
So what all equipment do you have, John? I haven't seen all your stuff. What all do you run?
Okay, so my equipment lineup has changed drastically, and just recently it's changed again. So I started with just a little 33-inch walk-behind mower in the ramp of my truck, and that's what got my business exploded. So I'm sorry.
I have to interrupt you. What is that noise that's going on?
I was wondering that too. Is it on my end?
Does somebody have something turned on?
I don't have a tab open.
They quit now.
You guys talk for a second. I'm going to mute me.
Hello.
I think it's Doc, but I'm not entirely sure.
Dave, I think it's you.
I don't know what could be making noise like that.
It is you, David.
Well, what the hell could it be?
Mute your thing for a minute, Dave.
Hello.
It's him.
Yeah.
It's
Doc,
Dave.
your mic has been cutting out a little bit when you talk, just so you know.
I think it's because it's sitting on the microphone itself.
Oh, right there is good. That's perfect right there.
Okay, good.
Oh, now it's not. It was.
How about now?
There you go.
Okay.
Whatever it is, it's not exactly me. Because I keep hearing it.
It's you, Dave.
What the hell?
Did you get your service from China?
Yeah, this internet here shit.
So what all do you have, John?
All right. So anyway, I started with the 33-inch mower in the ramp in the bed of my truck. They got me going. Business snowballed. I ended up picking up a large apartment complex that I used to live in. So I picked that up just before the season got going. I had that landed in January of last year. So I knew before March I needed a zero turn or a bigger mower because there's no way I'm going to cut it. It's very large. It's, to give you an idea, it's 13 acres with 144 houses. Yeah. Yeah. So lesson learned the hard way, but I ended up getting it done, man. It was good money. So I did it. I got it. My family ended up giving me a free zero turn. It was free in the beginning, but it cost me about $1,600 in repairs. It blew up on me, all kinds of problems, man. But anyway, so I got done with that. Peak season hit. I was mowing that place twice a week during peak season because the grass was growing so thick. Right during peak season, the mower blew up on us, and I didn't want to spend the money because I wanted no overhead. I loved no overhead. So I didn't want to spend the money, so I rented a freaking zero turn. Big mistake. I rented a zero turn for 2 days to catch up. I paid more for those 2 days on that zero turn than what it cost me a month to buy one. So I ended up going, and I ended up talking to my dealer because it's an Exmark. I ended up becoming pretty good friends with the dealer from an Exmark. And I ended up buying an Exmark Radius. It's a 60-inch Exmark Radius, brand new, no interest. So to me, it was a no-brainer. So that was the best decision I've made, was getting that. You talk about saving me some time on that with that mower. The place still sucks. It still takes a very long time, but it's still good money. And then my business, it did really well all throughout the year. So to answer your question, I didn't miss a couple of things of equipment there. Before I bought this mower, the residential zero turn that I got for free, it couldn't hold hills. It couldn't hold slopes at all. The apartment complex has a very steep drainage ditch, and I mean it's steep. So I ended up finding a 48-inch Bobcat walk behind, which love it. Love it on hills, but I hate the mower. But I ended up buying that for pretty cheap. So I was running those two mowers. Well, now the new Exmark, it holds that. I probably shouldn't be on it, but it holds it and cuts it no problem, just fine. So with my restructuring of my business, my main mower I'm running now is my 60-inch Exmark Radius, and I have just a small push mower that I'm planning on running. I'm looking at buying the Toro 30-inch to replace my small push mower for the smaller yards if I need it. But for the most part, all the yards I'm getting locked in only need the 60-inch mower to run it.
Well, I'll tell you what. I gotta change my tune a little bit. I didn't know you were an Exmark guy, so Juggernaut's beard is better.
Oh, shit.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I am not an Exmark fan. I give Ray and Neil shit all the time about it, but they're good.
So I try not to be biased to any lawnmower brand. This year I want to try them all out just to say, hey, I really like it.
It's just goofing, man. It's
You notice the one that runs Skag has no face there at all.
Yeah. That's how good Skag is.
What the X mark said, Ray? What the shit?
Damn, no, Ray's giving me shit. Oh, man.
I'll tell you what, all mowers are the only mower I think I would never even try is Worldwide. That is it. Oh man, when you get to the GIE, if you get to go, John,
I'm hoping to.
Is one of the worst mowers they've ever put wheels under.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about Bradley? I've heard a lot of people like them.
I think Bradley would be good for a guy starting out that doesn't have a lot of money. I would not want to put your career on Bradley just because I've talked to Nick with One Love, and he's told me, some things about him, which I'm not going to badmouth him on live streams. They're just, it's not something Ray would use, not something Neil would use. It's definitely not something I would use, and I doubt you guys would use it.
I don't know. I've never used one, but I'd be willing to try just about anything. And Mikey says cut cadet. I'd be willing to try a commercial grade cut cadet.
You bought a John Deere. That's just about the bottom of the barrel right there. I'm just teasing you, man.
So the only reason why I bought the Exmark is because the residential one I got, I had all the problems with it. So I was going to the dealer getting parts, and I built that dealer relationship. And I really like the mechanics. I had his number. I could text him, be like, hey, do you have this part? He's like, yep, it's at the front desk. Come in and get it. So that goes a long way to me. You're willing to help me out. So I was like, you know what? I already know this guy. I know the parts. So let's go get I'm going to give him more business. But long term, I don't see myself being an Exmark guy very long term, anyways. If that makes sense.
I tell you, I think Exmark here in Columbus is one of the big. Here that you're either on a Skag or an Exmark. Exmarks are fantastic mowers. I've tried them; they're not my thing. The Skag with the velocity deck just cuts our type of grass better. Now, where Ray's at, the Exmark cuts much better. The one that I think that Shane's mic causing all the crazy sound when lifted up the computer, it could be Benjamin, man. Really bad.
Around here, Deere and Skag are the two biggest brands. But I've had some guys that say the X marks don't cut the crap.
See, I love the X mark when I cut it. It cuts it here for me, anyways. It cuts great.
It does cut here very well too. The one mower I know that doesn't cut very well here was the Wright mower. The Wright mower didn't cut well at all.
See, I like that guy. I like that guy right there.
Who, me? I appreciate that, brother.
The guy I got pinned right there.
So, Shane, do you have any experience with Ferris, or do you know anybody that runs Ferris?
I knew a guy that had one. I used a little bit. Ferris holds a hill better than anything I've ever used. Absolutely holds a hill very well. Cuts nicely. It's a good mower if you take care of them. I think Toro's okay. I don't like Toro. My biggest beef with Skag is it doesn't cut backwards good. Yeah, and I've just never. Ray cuts differently than we do here. All of ours are the up and down. You know, we're trying to get the lines where Ray cuts. He cuts more like the square or a circle. It's a lot of farmland type stuff. They don't want the striping, so I can understand that. I think Cub Cadet has some good mowers. For me, World Lawn and Bradley are the two that I just would never touch. And I'm not saying I wouldn't buy a Bradley if I was starting out. I think it'd last you a couple years. I just wouldn't base my business and productivity off of it. I know a guy who is sponsored by him, and even he tells me, hey, no. And I tried John Deere. I don't like the cut of the John Deere on our grass.
Now, what did you try? Did you try just the standard, or did you try to sit down?
I tried the standard. I didn't want to sit down, so I wanted to try standards.
Now, you see, the standards are rights. They're just painted green. So if you tried an actual sit-down Deere, 7-iron deck, you might would like it more.
Now, see, John is going to be a millionaire, Ray. You're right. But John told me earlier before this live, he said, when I get there, don't worry about super chats, Doc. I got you.
Hey man, if I'm a millionaire, dude, I'm going to change a lot of people's lives.
Man,
like that.
Engine size and Exmark. I just think where Ray's at, the Exmark just works for him, man. And if it works for you, I would never change. And
I'm thinking about trying out Ferris here as my next mower, whenever it comes time for me to get a new one. There's a Ferris. It's 8 minutes from my house, a dealer that I just learned that just opened up. So to me, I'm a big one on not having that much drive time. If I have to go get parts or go get another mower, it's right around the corner from my house. So
I think you'd be happy with Ferris. I do.
Okay.
Now, I've used Snapper Pro sit down, and I like the machine, but I've not used it on very many different types of grass that we got around here or whatever. So I can't say much.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I can't say much about the cut quality of the Snapper Pro, but they're the same thing as a Ferris, just without the suspension. And I would like in the next year or two to really look into a standard. And I think my choices for a standard are going to come down to either Ferris or Wright. I'd like to definitely try them out. I tried the Skag, and it just wasn't as comfortable to me as I hoped it would be.
And Ray, you're probably, Ray could be right. This will be my first solo season in 7 years. all by myself. I may feel differently about stand-ons by then. I don't know. To me, they just were much more efficient. I had an easier time transitioning from mowing to trimming. I didn't get tired after setting down. And then, man, I got to get up now and grab the trimmer and then go walk. My legs weren't tired. But we'll see. We'll see. This is going to be, I'll learn a lot this year about the standards. I don't think at the age of 56, 57, I'll be able to stand anymore. So that's going to be, I think this will be probably the last stander I ever own just because of my age.
Now,
I would also like to see a guy buy a stander and see his business in 15 years to see if he's still willing to stand up.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's going to do to the body after 15 years.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I kind of want to look into that more. I kind of want to try a standard, but I'd only want to try it for like my smaller yards where it's constantly in and off, kind of like what you said. Is getting up and off of a sit-down mower, is it really that much different than a stand-on long term?
Well, for you, you're 27. For me, I'm 49. I've had a hip replacement. It's a little harder for me to get up and off of mowers all day long to go to the trimming. But I'm 49, hip replacement. I've got some arthritis in the shoulders. So, for a young guy like you, you're young, you're healthy, you're still, muscular, in shape. Time would, and maybe that's something to put on YouTube. Over time, what does it do to a body? What will John feel like from 27 to 30 on a stand-on, or from 27 to 35? Because as you get older, like all of us, the body's going to start to break down a little bit. And I'd be curious. See, Phyllis might not do well on that kind of grass. What do they have in Florida? Isn't it centipede? Or
now this year, I'm going to try and possibly demo a right, because if I get into that town that I'm wanting to get into, there's a right dealer down there. So if they'll let me take it out on property, I'm going to try and demo one and see just how I like it. And I'm thinking about, on my two smaller tractor mowers, I'm thinking about possibly putting them up for trade. If I can find somebody with a standard that would be willing to trade, I might trade for one.
St. Augustine grass. That's some weird grass, man. Yeah, for picking up trash, the stander is phenomenal.
Oh, I would need a standard then. I pick up a lot of trash.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, John, that Ferris Z, I think it's a Z3X or something. Z3R.
Yeah, Z3X.
Z3X.
That's what Missouri and Handy Guy 2016, they run Ferris. They're right around. They're not far from me down the road here.
You would really like that mower. Yeah.
I want to give it a try.
I'm just, and Jeff Reeling uses rights. Rights just don't cut very well here. I don't know why, but I'll tell you what, for comfort and everything, Wright's a great mower. Wright is a great and very solidly built. I'm just a Skag guy. I probably always will be a Skag guy. Nothing feels to me like the Skag does. And
like I said, I stood on the ground for like 10 seconds, and I think it was more comfortable than riding the Skag around for 10 minutes. I mean, I can just tell that makes a difference.
Yep.
I mean, I could be wrong. I may have to try them again, but I think it was that much better to me.
Red Rock Maintenance has got a walker. Now, that is a nice-ass mower, but not for my area. The application just doesn't work.
I think I do too many shitty properties to run a walker.
Yeah, you won't have shitty properties that always, John. you're gonna move up pretty quick, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would really like to check out the Cadet Pro line,
Yeah.
especially their standard.
They're nice. I rode them at GIE
Hello,
2 years ago. Hey, I gotta go, guys. Thank you for having me up, David and John. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, bro. Thanks for coming out.
I appreciate you coming up.
Hopefully, I see you at 6 because we're giving away that 50 at 6:30.
All right.
So
6:30 Eastern time.
6:30
See you later,
Eastern.
man.
Okay.
See you guys. See you,
All right,
everybody.
see you, brother.
Thank you.
See you.
All right.
Gotta go top grass and top properties. That's for sure.
Yeah. Ray, you should come on up, brother.
Yeah, come on up here, Ray.
Get Ray, Neil, Lawn Mowing. Come on back up here. Oh, he's
Now,
driving.
do you hear that? Do you hear that noise now that he's gone? That's
I
magically.
don't. I don't.
And everybody said it was me.
It sounded like you, man. You were talking, I'd hear it. But yeah, I guess it was him. We have to give him shit tonight on his live stream. Be like, hey, man, your mic is messed up.
He was on his phone, I'm pretty sure. And I mean, if he's on his computer, he probably wouldn't have done that, where he's got that mic and everything.
Oh. There he is.
But I'm going to really look at Toro this year as well. If I use my walk behind very much and the cut quality on it's good, I'm going to seriously look at Toro, because a buddy of mine has got a Toro 48-inch with the turbo force deck, sit down zero turn, and he really likes it. And I believe he said it cuts really good. But he's a Skag guy too. He's got mostly Skag, but he's got that one mower as well.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. If I end up getting that Toro 30-inch, if I do run that, maybe I'll build up a relationship with the Toro dealers and I'll start running a Toro in the future. But right now, I just don't have – I don't know. Right now, if I'm going to go change my mower, it'll probably be Ferris, like I keep saying. At least I think right now, you know, we could be talking a year or two away before I change, so who knows?
Yeah. I'm going to use that walk behind quite a bit this year. I've already planned I'm going to use it on my neighbor's property just to mow the whole entire thing. The whole entire place is completely flat, but I'm not even going to use the sulky. I'm just going to walk it just for the exercise. I've done that before with a 32 or 36 inch I used to have walk behind, and I seriously think I've done it almost as fast as I could with the rider, because, you know, the turning is so quick with it.
So back in the beginning of last year when I was doing my apartment complex, when my wife was on that smaller mower of mine and I was running the walk behind, this was before I had the sulky. With weed eating, leaf blowing, and walking behind that walk behind mower, I walked 22 miles in one day just at that one place between all of those two things. I have a picture to show it for proof too if somebody doesn't believe me.
Yeah, I think I've seen that. Was it on your Facebook?
Oh yeah, I did put it. I don't post on Facebook a lot, so don't expect to see much from me. Usually when I go on Facebook, I go straight to the marketplace, and that's all I pretty much do. But yeah, it was on my Facebook.
Yeah, I try to post on there into my business page, just trying to build up my, you know, whatever on there. But I don't post a whole lot of like personal or whatever on my actual Facebook. It's all business related, personal and business accounts, all business related.
The 30 inches good at striping. That's good to know.
Yeah, see, I demoed and I made a video about it. I don't know if everybody's seen it or not, but I demoed a Turf Tiger 2, and I was cutting, 3-week-old grass that was wet, which that's tough for any mower. But that thing honestly did horrible. I expected a lot better out of it, which it could have been the blades. I don't know, but I don't like big zero turns like that. Big, that's a big machine. I just don't like great big zero turns like that.
Yeah.
As far as a small,
I agree. Sorry, I keep cutting you off. Go ahead.
as far as a small, like nimble zero turn, I love the Snapper Pro 200 61-inch. To me, that's a kind of a lightweight and nimble mower. But I've used the big 3-cylinder 72-inch Kubotas quite a bit, and you could be on perfectly flat ground and be going to slow down and turn, and those things they'll slide. They'll just slide everywhere on flat ground. And that seems like that's a common thing amongst big zero turns. The Skag did the same thing.
Yeah. See, I would have actually started with Skag before I bought an X-Mark, but the Skag dealer, I just didn't like them there at the dealership. They just didn't seem like they knew quite what they were doing. I hate to say that. Maybe that's not the right way to say it, but I just didn't click with the Skag dealership like I did with my X-Mark dealer. So
that's one thing that I don't like about Skag too is there's so many people, especially with dealers. There's so many people that hate the dealers, and that just steers me away from them right there. You know what I mean? But I almost bought that Tiger Cat the Tiger Cat 2 for the EFI and the suspension seat. It would have probably been $1,000 or $2,000 more than the Deere, but that seat on that thing is nice.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched it or not. When I did that video, I can't remember if you commented or not on there. I made that video of moving my trailer stuff around. I drove the zero turn then. That's a teaser at least.
Yeah.
I just can't wait for the season to start. I'm getting so anxious, it's ridiculous.
Dude, you and me both, man. That's why I started going out, locking in contracts and stuff now, and just looking. I'm like, man, I'm so ready to start mowing. I've got a leaf cleanup to do Tuesday I'm pretty excited about because that'll be the first job I've done this year so far, so I'm excited to get mowing again.
MS250 to work cutting, clearing trees on the back 40. Some work done today, let's say. Thanks for coming by, Ben.
Yeah, thanks for coming by.
I've seen a lot of people say the Twills hold heels good, and then a lot of people say they don't. I come close. If I could have got the mower from Deere, I come close to trying to get it with the Twills. Of course, mine, used with only 6 hours. It didn't have Twills on it. They just had the pneumatic tires.
Ray, what's it like getting into tree work?
Oops. Yeah, that must be nice. You're down there in Florida where you can do that.
Yeah, really.
You keep saying you want to see me in action. When are you going to start making videos, Lawn One? I want to see you in action for a change.
Yeah.
You still not been able to find anybody willing to buy the Turf Tiger, Ray? How many hours do you have on that thing now? I'm sure you said in the video when you talked about it. I can't remember what you said.
Holy snake. That's good. I had something I wanted to ask you too, Ray, about it, but I don't remember.
80 hours on that thing.
Pretty good. Still brand new, man.
Yeah. If you paid $14K for that thing, I don't know if I was you, if I'd let it go for anything less than 11, 12,000. I can't remember what you said exactly. You was asking for it.
It's like a brand new mower.
Yeah. It'd be tough to get rid of at that price, I'm sure, but still, it's practically new. I know what you mean there, Mikey. Bi-weeklies is all there is around here. I'm going to try and be strict in Harrogate about keeping weekly, but if I have to take bi-weeklies, I will.
Yeah.
I understand that, man. It'd be cool, though, if you were to. If you wanted to, that'd be awesome.
Well, hey, David, I'm going to get off here. I got to run.
You gonna film that? I want to see you doing it.
Yeah, no. No, I gotta run out and get some shit done first. Time to get wifey off to work.
Yeah, I gotta get some stuff done here, and I gotta get some lunch. I'm getting pretty hungry.
Yeah, me too. So thanks for having me up, man. Let me know whenever your next one is, and I'll jump back up on that. I'm sure I'll see you probably tonight on Shane's live, possibly.
Yeah. Thing is, I needed cash. No one give me $12K. Yeah, I know what you mean. I understand that.
Yeah.
It sucks taking that big of a loss on it, but it is what it is.
See you later, Ed. See you later, everybody in the comments. And
Yeah, I'm going to try and do this probably every Sunday at 1 p.m. since I'm here, got the free time enough to do it. So I'll probably try and make it a weekly thing. But I'm going to get off here as well. I appreciate everybody's come up here. I think we had a good discussion today.
yeah, it was another good video. Another one that lasted longer than what we all expected, right? Wherever that
Yeah.
can't even point to it up there.
Yeah, I was thinking about 2 hours, and it's almost 3. So we done pretty good.
Yeah,
Kept-
that's how my live stream went too. I was thinking maybe an hour, freaking 3 hours later.
Yeah.
So, well, I'll see you guys in y'all's next one. Don't work too hard if y'all are out working.
Yeah, appreciate you being up here, buddy.
Take it easy, brother.
See you later. Well, guess I'll sign off here as well. I appreciate y'all coming up here. Like I say, I'll be on here every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, it did. And the cruise grilling didn't help none either. You know, that's 2 good things there. Teasing me, making me hungry. But appreciate y'all coming in. I'll see y'all later.